Hey everyone, welcome to the Sovereign Sacrifice. We are at the 6th episode of our epic tale. This is a Call of Cthulhu Gaslight actual play written by myself, and it's hosted by the Illusion Horror and Con YouTube channel. I'm your host for this evening, and will be your keeper of arcane lore. For those of you who are viewing this for the very first time, it is a 3rd edition Cthulhu Gaslight rules, but it's also has some, well, might not be good for younger audiences, so be careful with that. Before I get really started into, I'm going to do a recap. Before I get into that, I also need to put a shout out to a few people. First off, I'd like to, mention the Illusion Horror Con. Thank you for hosting us on this. And huge thanks to Sirenscape, which gives us all those wonderful, cool background sounds. Big thank you to all of the YouTube streamers: Rest for Wicked, Jesse Amon, the mountain cellist, composer Graham Plowman from Cthulhu Mythos Music, Mike Gelfie Studios, and Derek Feichter's Music Studios for their amazing ambiance and background music. Again, if you're looking for good music for your own games or just like to listen to creepy music, definitely go check these guys out. Their links are all down in the description below. Also, if you haven't gone to the Illusion Horror and Con, which is basically a horror virtual convention, you absolutely need to go check them out. Check out their website. I think you should attend. It's everything horror related, so check it out. So now let's go for the recap. So again, to point out, this is Halloween, October 31st in 1893. We are in London, England. Although the spiritualist movement has waned throughout much of the modern world, it's still alive and well in the halls of the wealthy, and has become an entertaining pastime for well-moneyed eccentrics and the numerous thrill seekers of high society. Fortune telling and seance parties are now just a common thing, just like weddings, dances, and balls, especially amongst the rich. So our story began as we watched the Tower Ravens, the resident Tower Ravens of the Tower of London, take flight from the Tower of London and head north and do not return. That is a very, very bad sign, because it said if they ever leave the Tower of London, that the Tower of London will fall, and so will the monarchy, or the kingdom of England will fall. That's, no bueno. So anyhow, so our investigators for years, they show up for various reasons to London to attend the International Alliance for Psychical Research's annual gala and masquerade ball. They have come from all over the world. They have for years, and for various reasons, been interested and sometimes obsessed with all things related to the supernatural, and have traveled far and wide in search of not only the truth, but for answers to their own questions as they wrestle with their past and desperately cling to some semblance of sanity. And so, as I said, they've all traveled to London to attend this wonderful gala and ball, which was quite interesting. And once they arrive into London, they actually went to Dr. Richard Bamford's manor house out in the Cotswolds, where they attended a dinner that turned out to be not very fun for everyone. They ended up being attacked. They watched their friend Father Ben Whittle burn, spontaneously combust and burn to death right before their eyes. They chased after the cultists that attacked them back to London, and they arrived back at the Savoy Hotel, where they're finding that crazy things and weird things are happening, terrifying things. Every time they turn around, they see something just god awful. And they managed to, using some of their abilities, because our characters have certain abilities that are not the norm. Paranormal abilities like clairvoyance, having divination abilities, being able to speak to spirits, telepathy, all those types of things. So they realized that they think that they could follow the cultists, who also, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention, the cultists managed to abduct and kidnap poor Margaret Playfair's assistant, Jessica. Jessica, Jessica. And so they realize that they're down in below the Savoy Hotel in an old subway tunnel or tubes. They follow that tunnel, well, in a very terrifying car that was powered by the desiccated body of a man who's basically has arcane engines, or basically is an arcane engine for the thing to move. And it was just really disgusting. So they finally get there. They find another cavern, which it appears that Jessica, Margaret's assistant, was being held captive there. They also run into Nigel Higgins. Nigel Higgins is somebody they hadn't met before, but his name was very familiar to Johannes for a variety of reasons. He begins to tell them of how they are the 5 keys of something incredibly important. It's incredibly important that they finish their destiny. Excuse me. And in the process of trying to get this information, who is it? Lennox. Yeah, Lennox decides that well, they need to get rid of this guy because he's probably in league with the Flauros, this horrible demon. And he actually poisons him. Well, actually, I believe it's Dr. Finley who poisons him. But yeah, poor Nigel Higgins. You know, he is poisoned to death and left laying on the floor of this horrible rail car from the tunnels. They managed to escape the cultists who were hot on their heels, shooting guns. And in the process, Lennox takes a bullet to his right calf. They managed to escape out of the tunnels and managed to find a way out of and from under the Tower of London itself, where Jessica was taken to the Lambeth Hospital by Margaret to be seen, treated, because she's very dehydrated, looking like she's drugged. And the other 3 of them go to a pub, the Four Horsemen, in a very dodgy area of Whitechapel. And while they're there, they experienced something, well, altogether frightening. And apparently, they're thinking that while they're there, they pull a bullet out of Lennox's leg. And while they're there waiting, to just kind of relaxing, enjoying a beer, they see a man come in which they weren't expecting. A man which they know they just saw die aboard the rail car that they were on. Nigel Higgins comes walking in, sits down next to them, and Lennox, being completely confused by the situation, hands him a beer and realizes that no, this is not Nigel at all. Maybe his body, but it's definitely a demonic voice. Basically, this demon, Flauros is his name, toys with them a bit and then ends up having to leave all, suddenly. The players, I think, Johannes Rike, he goes off to the consulate to report the happenings of what's going on with this cult, all the things that were going on with this. Our lovely Margaret has a vision where she sees Princess Mary coming into the nursery for their son, Edward, and 2 other maids who, one was young. She looks like she maybe 17 or 18 years age, but the other one, maybe in her 20s, but her hair belies something more. It's very kind of got gray wisps in it. It's a little strange. Not something that you normally see. Premature graying happens, but this still looks strange. And then she realized, with this dead-looking eye stare, that this has to be Eusapia Palladino, who was one of the head people of the Judas Society. Knowing that this is a bad thing, she sends a telegram off to the Buckingham Palace in order to possibly warn Princess Mary about this issue, maybe come to visit her, meet her. all of this taking place, the ball begins. And later that evening, after everybody kind of makes their way to back to the Savoy Hotel, there are countless carriages all bringing people in to attend this massive masquerade ball. While they're there, they come across a man who's wearing a full skull mask and wearing the outfit of like a French fop, is walking around that looks really familiar. And they realize that he was actually Richard Bamford, who supposedly had been kidnapped before by these original cultists. And now all of a sudden, here he is. Before long, they realize that through another one of the visions with Margaret, that they definitely have Edward or Princess Mary. They know that they're down back at the same spot where Princess Mary was, where Jessica had originally been freed. So, and they prepare themselves. They get all their equipment together, weapons ready, everything. And they get on the old rickety elevator that heads down to the bowels of the Savoy Hotel and into that long, not used subway tunnel. As they're going down into the train or going down in the elevator, it suddenly loses weight. It starts to fall. They hear screeching of metal upon metal, and then a loud bang, and they lose consciousness. And our last scene, just before we cut off for the session, we found Johannes finds himself sitting in the middle of a black void. He cannot see anywhere outside of this cone of light that's just coming down upon him. It's maybe about a 5-foot circular cone of light. He's sitting with his knees up to his chest, and he has no idea where he's at or how he even got there. The other 4 members of the party also pass out and wake up in a old French style opera theater, where it's full of patrons that are watching an opera. And as they watch in amazement of trying to figure out exactly how they even got here, they see the male lead singing his aria. He begins to stop, and he reaches over, who holds the hand of the female lead. And as he does so, he strokes her hand and then reaches up and snaps her neck with one hand. Turns around, his whole head turns around and looks up to the box where the players are seated. And he basically says, "You didn't think it was going to be that easy, did you?" And that's where we left off.
You can go ahead.
Okay, so Johannes, I'm going to start with you. Aren't you lucky?
I'm literally in the dark.
Correct. You are quite literally in the dark. And you, I want you to make a listen check.
Good. I, of course, fail.
Okay. So you hear what sounds to be some kind of music, but it's way far off.
Since that is the only thing I can make out, just walk towards the music.
Okay. Well, you hear it, but you're not sure where it's at. It's kind of all around you. So getting a direction of it, you're going to have to use something else.
I will try to find the others then. Even though... Where's Lauritsen when you need him? Well, I at least see if I can make out the direction.
That's a possibility.
I feel I couldn't. I feel with my special skill, I wouldn't be able to make out the direction. I would more be able to identify a place, which doesn't really help me because.
No, well, depending on your role, okay. In your case, it would have to be pretty high because you don't have a specific thing that you're looking for. All you know is that it's music.
Well, I know that
like.
I know that the others are most likely there. I mean, that's what I'm actually looking for. I mean, the music is a plus, but the others is what I'm looking for. Or who?
Okay, so go ahead and make your ability roll.
Well, it definitely is a success.
Okay. All right. So, just a moment. Yeah, so you're searching through. You're trying to focus on anything and everything that you just trying to get yourself in a position where you can actually kind of get an idea where this is at. But then something altogether different comes through and becomes a little bit more louder. You begin to hear a music box. It's a very familiar tune to you. But it's off in the distance. It's very quiet at first. As you follow it, you start to feel cold. You feel a breeze kind of touching your face. You can't see anything before you, but the sound is bringing you in a particular direction. And as you keep walking, it's as if the whole world just changed and light came above. And you find yourself walking in the middle of a forest. You remember this forest. So whenever you were 9 years old, you got lost. Father told you not to go out hunting on your own. You were too young. But you wanted to show him that you were a man now. And with a rifle in hand, which you managed to break in the process, useless right now, you're beginning to freeze. It's cold. Unbelievably cold. So you begin to, like I said, you feel the coldness and the wind, and you're trying to bind yourself up, and you begin to remember how far away you were from everyone, and you were beginning to you remember how terrifying it was for the idea that you would never ever be able to see your parents again, any of your loved ones. You were just going to die out here alone. No one to help you. And so you sit down at the end, at the base of a tree. And once again, you begin to slowly drift off into a kind of another sleep. And you wake up again. This time you find yourself sitting in a tunnel. Well, it seems like a tunnel. There's a walkway. It's like you're under a walkway. It's not. You look to your right. You see light. There's sunlight out to the right. It's not cold now. It's somewhat warm. And you still hear the music. And you stand up and you look to your left. You're actually in a tunnel that's underneath an overpass where people can walk over. And you're in a familiar park. You know this park. It's in Vienna. You actually come here a lot, or used to come here a lot. And as you follow the music, it just allures you. You keep following it, and you're going down streets, making turns left and right, listening, following for the music. And you find yourself standing at the door of a rather large basina, or flat. I think I pronounced that right. Tell me if I didn't. And as you arrive, you stand at this door when you hear the music inside. And the door opens up. And you find yourself, well, before it even opens up, you realize that you're now holding a bag of potatoes and some carrots. Looks like there's a couple onions in this bag. And under your right arm, you're tucked underneath your right arm, you have a wrapped up roast, beef roast. The door opens up, and Greta opens up. She's like, "Oh, you're finally here. Oh, I was wondering where you have been at. Come on in. Get out of the. Come on in. I can never get this dinner made until you bring these things. Please come in. Don't just stand there. Come on in. The children are hungry. Just go sit down and warm up by the fire, and I'll finish supper." You look to the table. The table is a very nice table, set with wonderful china, plates. You're admiring the china, and you pick it up, and you look at the china itself, and as if on cue, a memory pops into your head. You remember watching Greta's face light up with joy when you invited her to pick out the pattern that she liked most. Place the plate down. The music is still playing in the background, and suddenly you see a boy and a girl come out of the next room. "Papa! Papa! You're home! Oh, you're so home. Did you bring us any candy? Did you bring us any candy?" And as if on cue, you have a small bag of licorice in hand. You hand it out to them. What are your children's names?
Ooh, See, that's hard.
Well,
Because I feel, first of all, what Johannes wants to do is look down on himself and check if this is him. Because Johannes has the very strange feeling that this aren't his memories. Because there was a childhood there that wasn't his. And he remembers his childhood, but he also remembers this familiar memory that he's just been in. So he has the idea that he's not living his own life.
okay. I want you to make a POW check.
moment.
Make a POW check, please.
I fail because it's more fun.
You look down at your body, and no, this is your clothing. And you look up. There's a small mirror on the mantle just across the room. You can see yourself. You're looking quite dapper. Very nice. It's fantastic. And you, absolutely, it's wonderful. It's the most amazing thing ever. The food smells delicious.
Anyways, the boy's definitely named Franz Jr. for some unknown reason. And then the girl, of course, is Elizabeth.
Thank you for the candy, Daddy. Papa, rather. Papa, thank you for the candy. Ah, they just enjoy it. Oh, can you tell us any stories where you went today? And you literally pop into your head. You thought for a minute, you're like, wait a minute, what are they? I have no idea what happened. But no, suddenly pops into your head. Oh, I was just at the consulate, and I was notified I'm going to be promoted. I'm going to be the new ambassador.
I'll tell them that story.
Oh, and your wife just Greta, she's, it's wonderful, darling. That's so wonderful. We can celebrate. Oh, fantastic.
Oh, but the bad news is we will have to move probably. But it will be a great adventure.
Well, look, we only have one bedroom here. I'm certain we could probably get a two-bedroom place
The
then.
residence in London is... You have no idea. We'll be living in a great house.
Outstanding. Oh, I cannot wait. And then she gives you a big kiss, and that's where we're going to fade from you for a moment. Moving over to... We're going to start with Margaret. Okay, so Margaret.
Let me get over a bout of hay fever just now.
I understand. I totally understand.
Stupid nature out to get me. Right.
So, that last scene, you saw that horrible visage of, Flower Ross snapping the head of that poor girl. Turns around, and as he after he says that, you fall asleep. You basically pass out cold. You wake up again.
That was merciful, rather, for a moment.
Yep. So, you passed out cold. You suddenly wake up, and you're in your bed at Sutton Place.
Oh,
And you look around. It's a beautiful sunny day outside. And you hear birds chirping. And
this is nice.
yeah, very comfortable. You wake up, you get to sit on the side of the bed, you stretch. It's like, oh, what a wonderful day. Then Sandra, who is the lead housekeeper. Sorry?
Just one of those silly nightmares.
Right.
Yeah.
And Sandra, the housekeeper, the lead housekeeper, is the one that oversees the maintenance of pretty much everything that goes on within the house, cleaning, etc. She comes walking in. Oh, good morning, miss. Are you ready for breakfast? And she starts tidying up, pulls out a dress for you, and starts helping you get ready for the day. You know that Mr. Burke has whipped up a wonderful breakfast. Biscuits are fresh and warm, not to mention eggs and wonderfully crisp bacon. It's wonderful. And then you hear...
Delightful. Yeah, I'll be down shortish.
Absolutely. Well, just a moment. I believe it. And you hear from the hallway, Margie, come on, old girl. Wake up. It's time for us. We're going to have a lovely alfresco breakfast. And you see Arthur show up at the doorway. Good morning, girl. Oh, you're not dressed yet. Oh, I shall turn. Don't mind me. I'm turned. You may get dressed now. And he just stands there waiting. So, we're going to have a wonderful breakfast outside. I wondered if you might want to actually do a bit of riding later. The horses have been all wonderfully fed, and they've been groomed very well, I'm told. And I just feel this is a brilliant day for a ride.
It is rather, isn't it? Some mornings you just wake up and it's one of those days.
Absolutely. And I know you're going to be leaving quite soon for America. You're going to that New York thing out there. I kind of envy you.
We got there, I think. Unless in Central Park or something.
Well, I'm not
going
sure.
there for that.
I've never been to the colonies, so I don't know. Well, whatever. Before you go, we shall have a grand time. Absolutely.
Yes,
I'm
wonderful.
excited. And then you hear another voice from the hallway. Margie, are you awake, girl? It's your father.
Yes, Dad.
I just wanted to... Oh, my lord, I'm not dressed yet. He holds his hand up and he's like, you do know that we're meeting today with Sir Reginald. He's
That had slipped my mind.
Well, how can it slip your mind, girl? You're being offered they're offering you to be the curatorship for the Egyptian Museum. It's I can't believe you would forget such a thing.
I guess I've not had a cup of tea yet. Like I said, I'll be down. I'll be down in 10 minutes, and I'll be decent by then. So you know, you could come into
Right.
my bedroom and face the consequences.
Yeah, right. I'll be downstairs getting a spot of tea. Please, do hurry, though. Do hurry. And Arthur says, "Come on, gold girl. Margie, let's go." All right. He runs down, follows his father down as well. You're now alone in your room.
Well, geez, they're always so chaotic, aren't they? Men. And I hurry to get myself ready. I mean, I don't have to, be like made up anything fancy so I can manage myself.
Right.
And
So
I hurry
as
back.
you're right, and as you get your beautiful dress on, it's fantastic. You actually never seen this dress before. It's the most beautiful thing you have ever seen. It's perfect. It's exactly what you would have wanted to wear today on a day like today. And then you notice one of the other maids is coming in, and she's kneeling down at the fireplace, and she's kind of wisping out the coals from inside of the fireplace, and out of the corner of her eye she sees a mouse. And without blinking an eye, she snatches up the poker and stabs the mouse, bleeding and squeaking. And you watch her face smile as if she's enjoying this.
My, we should take you out hunting. You've got quite the aim. Are you new? Have I seen you before?
You have seen her before, but she's always so timid and quiet. She's never acted like this. This is different.
Does she react to my quib about the you should come hunting? I
Um,
try not to be alarmed by the murderous chambermaid, and take it in stride. I mean, they're farm girls mostly. Like you grow up like with a certain level of everyday cruelty, I guess.
mhm.
Chicken necks to be wrung and all.
Okay, so once she actually has skewered this small mouse. I don't know how. It's a poker, but she managed to do it. There's not much left of this mouse, and she has just sort of scraped it off into the shovel and dumped it in the bin and just left it there. She comes over. "Oh, miss, can I help you with your shoes?"
Yeah, wait, thank you. Yes, they are a bit inconvenient, aren't they?
She begins to lace them, and with each time she laces them, it snaps, and it's painful every time she does it. We want to keep them tight, miss. Yes, we're keeping them.
This is a bit tight. Hang on, stop now.
When she looks up, she's actually sad that you told her to stop. She's like, "I'm sorry, miss. Did I?"
This is just a bit too tight for just having breakfast in. Just nice and comfortable. I'll have them tightened up later for the riding. I would rather preserve the circulation in my toes. Thank you.
You hear her mutter as she walks up. "Some people are no fun," and she walks out of the room. She's never said anything like this before.
Yeah, I don't know. I need to.
Now remember, you still.
About her.
I just want you. I want you to remember that you still, while you woke up in the bed, you still remember all the things that happened.
Oh, but that was a dream, though. I'm sure this is going to.
Okay,
just
well,
be a fine day.
Here's what we're going to do before we do that. Before we say that, I want you to roll a POW check.
That sounds about right. But
Yep.
I'm very very happy to escape from the cruel reality. I've had too much of this bullshit. To to be frank, I take the easy way out if I could have it now. And I failed.
All right. So yeah,
So easy or the hard way.
it was absolutely a dream, and you managed to get yourself together and make yourself down for breakfast, and we're going to fade from you.
Riding with Arthur, this is going to be the best day.
Absolutely. So, Dr. Finley. Yes. You, same situation. You pass out after you hear the whole business happen with Flower House on the stage. And you wake up in your own bed. You hear the windows open. There's a nice breeze coming in. It's nice and just wonderful weather. And you look over and you see someone laying in the bed with you.
Is it Abigail? Is it Abigail Adams, my wife?
It looks like her. Her hair. That's her hair. It's beautiful. It's a little longer than what you remember it, but beautiful. She's still asleep now. You hear just a slight little, snore here and there.
She's as young as I remember her to be when I met her. Long hair and
no, believe it or not. Well, you can't really see her face right now. All you can see is her back in her hair, so you can't really quite see.
Oh well, I smell her. Does she smell like she usually does?
Oh, like the standard perfume. Just like
lavender.
The lavender. Sorry, the lavender. Absolutely, it smells like lavender. It's just you take a big deep breath in. Oh, God, I love this woman. And you look out the window and you're wondering for a moment. You're like, wait a minute, wasn't I just somewhere else? I don't know. And about that time, you kind of sit up on the edge of the bed. About that time, you feel her roll over on the other side. She turns over and she's looking directly at you. She's like, "Good morning, my love." She smiles. And you look at her face, and it's pretty much the same, but not the same as what you remember it. It's as if at that time period that she's been with you all this time, that she's aged normally, just like you. And she looks wonderful. Oh, you're looking at me too long. I'm starting to blush. You want some breakfast, my love? Shall I ring for it?
Yes, I would love to have breakfast with you.
What do you want to? How about we have breakfast in bed? Want us to bring it up, or do you want to go down?
I think we should stay here. It feels like I haven't seen you for quite a while. I don't know why.
Okay.
And I think I will. I usually don't do that. I'm not that kind of person. But I will caress her hair, I think.
Okay, absolutely. So yeah, she's like, oh, she pulled your hand to her cheek and just, I love you. Okay. Now, well, we need to. Catherine is. We were supposed to take her to. She's going to. Today is her first communion at church. It's. You realize it's Sunday. You hear the bells chiming from the church out in the yard.
I think then we should dress up and have breakfast downstairs, and let's take our daughter to the church.
You hear at the door.
Yes, please.
Mother, are you, Mother, are you up? You hear the door open a little bit, and you see her peeking in, and you see it's Catherine. Aren't you up yet? She opens up the door, sticks her head. Get dressed. It's my special day. Come on. But you know what? I'm so angry. I'm so upset. My dress. This is not the dress I wanted. They brought me the wrong dress, Daddy. You believe that? They brought me the wrong dress. How could they do such a thing?
Don't worry, dear. We'll take care of that. I'm sure that your mom here has some old dresses of hers. She might.
Of course we do. She looks over at you. Of course we do. Catherine, relax yourself. It's no problem. We'll get you fixed up right away. Head back to your room, and I'll be there shortly. and she gets up and begins to get dressed. And you're looking at everything, and you're like,
Yeah, something's wrong. Yes.
you know, it's just make a POW check, please.
All right.
Oh, with a penalty die, please.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that.
For you, it's a penalty die.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want this to be real. Yes. Okay. Sure. Power check. So I click on the. Is it the green or the purple button? Which one should I press to get the bonus? I don't remember.
I have no idea.
Anyway, I'll click the purple one. All right, there you go. That's. I think it's.
Still a success?
Still it says yes. Down.
Okay. You look over, and she bends over to pick. She's actually putting on her dress and pantaloons. And she's getting herself together, but something's not right. This is not right. We'll fade from you for a moment. All right. So Erik, we'll get to you, Lennox. Sorry, you last on the list here. Erik, you, as like others, you wake up in your bed as everyone else has done, and you are in London, and you're at the Savoy Hotel. You can see you remember this is your normal room that they bring you out, and you see you have a tux and tails set up on a rack with a tie and everything else that you set up for you. This is not your normal wear, but you know that this is a very important day. You're about to receive an award for that wonderful the thing that you found. It was so beyond imagining. You're going to be considered the literally the explorer of the year, be named that, and you are to be knighted as well. And you hear a knock at the door. Monsieur, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Who is this?
It is Pierre. I am you. I was just with you, sir. I brought up your bags. Is there anything else that you'll need, sir? I brought in a bottle of champagne on the house, of course, and well, is there anything else you'll need? I have a carriage, or a growler carriage ready for you whenever you're ready to go. It is now. It pulls out his pocket watch. Pocket watches. It is now 11:22 a.m. You are to be at the palace at. Oh yes, that's 2 p.m. sir. 2 p.m.
Very good, Pierre. Could you perhaps bring me something less bubbly?
Oh, absolutely. Well, is the champagne? Does the champagne not suffice, sir? He holds the bottle of champagne.
There's nothing wrong with it. I just prefer it a bit stronger and less bubbly.
Oh, so you would like some? Well, how about some? So you say, we could do gin. Would you like some gin?
Yes, very good.
Gin,
very good.
gin and tonic. May I suggest a gin and tonic, sir? No, so you have been to the Antarctic and found something so amazing that we cannot even begin to. I cannot even begin to understand how you were able to do that. So the courage you must have must have been fantastic. But I digress. He walks over to the other side of the room and begins to pour you a drink. So.
Yet, Pierre, this city terrifies me more than the Arctic. So.
Well, you don't have to worry about that anymore. You do not have to go out on any more expeditions, at least for now. At least none that are going to get you killed, because of but you're going to meet the Queen this afternoon. It's a short briefing, as I must tell you. Short meeting. You only supposed to have you have 5 minutes, but she does want to meet you. And then there is a formal presentation of the awards tonight at the Royal Albert Hall. I am very excited for you, sir, and it's a wonderful day. This is the best you can ever imagine.
Very good, Pierre. Very good.
And about that time, he leaves the room, and coming from an adjoining room, you see Alma, who opens up the door.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, darling.
Alma.
We're so proud of you. You know, your daughter, Katya, and Joseph. Well,
Yes.
I will let you decide. You can change if you want to change the names. I have written Katya and Joseph.
Oh no, I actually have named them. I have actually named them.
I think it was. Then I did name them right. So it is Katya and Joseph.
Yeah.
All right. So
no. I have them. I have it right here.
okay. So
Yeah. My names are. My daughter's name is Tone, and Atle is my son, my youngest son.
Tona, and that is very interesting names.
Tone and
Tone.
Atle. And I'm Norwegian, so they have Norwegian names.
Oh no, I think it's great. I've never heard them before, so I think it's awesome.
It's very Norwegian.
So I think it's really cool. So anyhow,
For the Swedish person.
huh? So she comes in and she's like, come, get up. You need to get dressed. We have to get something for lunch. And then your daughter and son come in and oh, Daddy, we're so proud of you. We're so happy for you. And thank you for the toys. And then you realize that you remember now. Suddenly, it wasn't there a moment before, but you now remember that you bought her that lovely doll, and you bought the child a top, a top on string. And he's sits on the floor and he's playing with it, and she's looking at her dolly, brushing the dolly's hair. And you're getting dressed, and your wife is basically helping you get your bow tie on because this is tucks and tails. And she goes, so, are you nervous?
I wouldn't call it nervous, darling. I would say I'm terrified. More terrified than the fronting the reality of the Arctic. The city makes me uneasy.
Stuff. Yeah, no. You're fine. You'll be fine. You'll be fantastic, as you always are. Always are. So, all right.
Oh, with you by my side, I can enjoy it.
Now there you go. And so she finishes straightening your bow tie, and then she hands you your drink. Just drink up. And she waltzes over and pulls cord to bring I guess the butler to come and escort them down, escort you down to the carriage. But something's not right. You have this thing in your head. You saw this horrible. It must have been a horrible nightmare, but it seems so real. I need you to go ahead and roll a power check for me, please.
A what?
A power check.
Power.
Yep.
Okay. Yes.
Power check. Power.
Coming right up. There we go. Power. There we go. Did I push the right button? Yes, I did. Okay. That's a hard success.
Hard success. You look at everything, and while you're still remembering the things that happened to you, you don't know.
Yes.
It's not quite. You're not sure what's going on. It's rather confusing to you, and you sort of shake off the feeling and finish off your drink, and head out the door, and head down with your family down to the carriage. Or fate from you. Getting back to Lennox. So you wake up And now, where does Lennox normally stay? Does he stay at the brewery?
Above flat, yeah. He has a small little room, cozily
Okay.
put together
Okay.
with the necessities.
Okay. So you go down, you wake up, and you find yourself, after that whole god-awful experience, you find yourself waking up in your, well, it's a meager bed, but it's a bed. It does what it's supposed to do. And you're god-awful thirsty. And what would he keep around? Would it be just alcohol, or would he have water?
He would have water, certainly.
Okay.
A couple of bottles.
Okay. So he gets himself some water, drinks up for a moment. He, trying to understand how did I? And then you're thinking back to those things, those moments, and then all of a sudden pops into your head, oh, yes, it's like I need to add that extra hops. I was sleeping on this. I need to add that extra hops in for that special beer, the new edition. I need to get that done now. And so you get yourself dressed in your normal fashion, and you know, as best as you normally get yourself dressed.
Oh, I do
And,
wear quite some nice attire, especially when I'm in the brewery. I'll go down.
Okay.
Decent, not nice, decent.
I was gonna say it's gonna be work clothes, but it's, you know, it's decent. It's not bad at all, right? So yeah, you head down. You literally come out of the it was basically a room, you know, and you just come up, you head down the stairs down into the main brewery area. There's big vats, a couple of big vats there. It's not, your brewery is small, but it takes up basically a small warehouse full of everything that you need for it, you know. And you see on the other side, standing on a catwalk, overlooking and writing on a clipboard, you see your partner, Stephen Mills. He looks up. Ah, good morning. Good morning, Lennox. Come on over. It's almost ready. Did they bring the hops in? He's hollering this over the din of the. Yeah, and suddenly you're not sure at a moment. You're like, wait a minute, hops. And then it's like, then it pops in your head. Oh, absolutely. Brought it in last night. I checked on it myself. You make it aware. So.
Sure, I did. With a slight questioning tone. They should be right down second box, next to the entrance.
Well,
should they?
We always need a, you know, that special hops, if you know what I mean. He looks over, kind of winks at you, looks back at you. And what do you do?
I look at him and I wink back, not probably faster than I can process what just happened, and then just ask myself, what are we brewing again?
What do you mean? What do you mean? What are we brewing again? We've been working on this for months.
Right.
It's gonna be the new. It's the 157th attempt.
Right.
We're certain this is gonna be right. It's gonna be fantastic. It's going to make us millionaires. I'm certain of it.
I just kind of look around me and just have that shiver running over me and shake myself. Stephen.
Okay.
What did I do yesterday? I think I might have drunk a bit too much again.
Well, of course you are. You were very upset with the, 156. Didn't go well. It tasted like piss water. So you got yourself pissed, quite for certainly, and passed out. Glad you're up. I'm convinced now that the 157 is going to be the one. I'm I'm certain of it. You see some of the workers below they're mixing other vats. They're doing other types of the brewery, the different beers and whatnot. But there's a specific vat that's for the experimental stuff, and that's the one that he's been looking at, overseeing, watching as things go
I'll head
on.
over to him on that platform above, kind of
Okay.
mesmerized almost. Dream state like, I think it is the better description of how I walk around. Trying to understand if things are real or not, but yeah, that makes sense. That's much better than what I last remembered. Opera below some hotel in London. Like that's nonsense. That must have been a dream, of course. None of this is correlating.
Hotel London? I don't think you've been to London, have you?
No, I don't think I left the States since ever. Let me try the wart. How's the wart going?
The what? I'm sorry.
The wart, the mash. How's the?
It's as you stated you wanted, exactly how you wanted it. It's perfect. As far as that's why I'm convinced that along with that special hops that you want to add in, I'm convinced this is the one. You know, I've always thought that you were a genius, and it's now coming to fruition. And something pops into your head. Wait a minute, he's never thought I was a genius. He always thought I was an idiot.
Yeah.
Never actually said it to my face, but I could tell.
He might have said it to my face when I was drunk. Thinking I wouldn't remember.
Okay.
But I think I would just nod and, brotherly tap him on the back of the shoulder. Oh, yeah, of course. Let me just check on the hops then. And I'll kind of walk down where I think I left them. And just take a sniff and see how they are, what they smell like.
Yep. You take a big deep. They're perfect. You're convinced. It's exciting. And then you breathe in and sniff again, and it's like smells like manure. Oh, it's wonderful though. You're like, wait a minute, manure. And you smell it again. So you smell the hops, and then manure. You look in your hands. You pull it up. What you were holding hops in your hands was just kind of trickling through your fingers. Is now literally stool in your hands. It's kind of smeared around in your hands. And you shake your head. You're like, what the hell? And now it's hops back in your hand. Need you to make a power check.
Certainly. And I fail.
Okay. So you that couldn't be just too much to drink last night. And look back, it's the hops, and it's perfectly fine. Yeah, it's just fantastic. You just kind of with your fingers, and you just kind of let it fall back into the barrel. And that's what you do.
I'll probably just continue as before. Pick up a couple of the hops, walk over to Stephen, and they smell right. Let him get a whiff, and
okay. He's like, oh, that's fantastic. You got the right one. You've got the right one. I wasn't sure about that guy buying from him. You know, he's from Nebraska. You never know. We can't trust you, the Nebraskans. This is good stuff. You had the right. You had the right idea, man. I am so stoked. I'm just beyond happy about this.
yeah, I'll just walk back to my office room.
Okay.
A bit confused, dazzled about what just happened. Stop by occasionally, just add a couple of cask and take a sip, taster from each of them, just to familiarize myself with that this is real.
Okay.
I'm still drunk, right? I must be.
Oh well, yeah. You're absolutely. You're convinced of that now. You're still quite drunk, but as per usual, because you do this all the time, the workers set up a tasting line, and you go down tasting each and every one of them, making sure that it's got the proper flavor.
Okay.
And
I do.
that's what you. Oh, okay. You're gonna go down and do that. We're gonna fade from you, Johannes.
Yep.
So you're sitting down with your family, children, lovely wife, and it's amazing. And the sound of the music box keeps on playing. This was your favorite song when you were a child. Do you recognize it?
I feel I should roll something.
Yes, you should. So make a, yeah. Just intelligence check, something like that. Something that's just with advantage, or with because you're gonna know this.
Yeah. But again,
Okay.
do I know the song?
Well, I don't know. You recognize it as being Green Sleeves.
I recognize it as being Green Sleeves, but
Your character does
Johannes
too.
know?
So, yes, Johannes knows. He recognizes this as Green Sleeves. It's one of the more common pieces of music that are put into music box like this one. In fact, this music box was you remember it just for a moment. You're looking at it like, I don't remember another song, but where did I get? And then all of a sudden it pops into your head. Oh, I remember that day. I was looking through the window and I saw all this music boxes sitting out, and there was that one right there. That was playing Green Sleeves, and I thought for certain she would love it. And you bought the music box. It is sitting over on the mantle. And it's just playing. Daddy, it's time to eat. Sit down.
I sit down, I put my hands into my pocket.
Okay.
Do I find what I would usually have in my pocket?
Make a pad check.
God. No, I fail.
Yeah. No. I mean, when you say that you normally have in your pocket at all times, is that what you're saying? Okay.
Yeah,
What would
yeah.
you normally have in your pocket? So.
I have a whole bunch of stuff in my pockets, but what I'm importantly looking for is a certain locket that I've usually kept carrying around.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it definitely. You have it in your pocket.
Good. Because that would kind of work as an anchor towards his childhood memories.
Mm-hmm.
So he probably doesn't remember the music box. Maybe he remembers seeing the music box, but he remembers being not able to buy it. He remembers
you
stealing the
failed.
locket. I fail, yeah, that's the
And
problem.
so you remember distinctly buying that that box.
In that case, I also remember buying the damn locket.
Yes, that's true. So everything that was, yeah. So, yeah, absolutely.
Everything that was stolen is now bought.
Yep. So,
screw it. Then I also remember the pictures being taken.
Yeah.
That the picture being taken that is in the locket that
Absolutely
that as well. Yeah, I'll happily remember all of these great memories and put the locket back in my
pocket. As if on cue, you look over to the small table sitting next to your high wingback chair that you normally sit at in front of the fireplace, and on the table is another photograph. It's at the same time period that you had the other one done, and it's of you and the whole family. And it's
how great is that?
That is just
what an
fantastic.
Excellent photographer. That was
I
such an
tell you,
amazing
he
day.
was amazing. He was amazing. And so, once again, she come sit down, dear. Let's eat. Just eat.
I'll sit down.
Okay. So, you sit down at the head of the table, and once you sit down, everybody else sits down. And what do you say, Grace, Daddy?
I'll probably say grace.
Okay. So you go through a normal
normal Catholic grace.
Right. Thank you for this food. Thank you for all the blessings, etc. And so once you finish, and you begin to, you're the first one always to pick up each plate and pass it around. You take and you hand it around. They start passing it around, and you get some vegetables. And because the roast is actually in the center, you're kind of, you're basically cutting slices off for everybody at the table. And then as you're cutting into it, you just, oh, it's wonderful. It's fantastic. And as you cut into it, blood starts to pool out the side of it. This looks like old blood. But this is too much. It's as if it's overwhelmingly, it's pouring out the sides of the tray that the meat is on. It's pouring out and it's pouring down over into the laps of both your wife and your kids, and they're just eating things up. And as they get onto the table, they put their hands up and they wiping blood all over their face, and they take it one bite after another, get a carrot, and they actually wipe it into the blood and take a chip of it like it's a sauce.
I'll drop the fork and knife, I would say.
I think it's a sanity check is what this is going to be. Yeah.
Getting
that's
strong
exactly
Stanley Kubrick wives right now.
Yeah.
I failed the sanity check. This is too much.
And
4
the
points.
elevator opens.
Whoa!
And then just as that happens, you look back again, and it's perfectly fine. Most delicious looking medium pot roast that you've ever seen. It's just, yeah, it's fine.
I'll pick them up again, the cutlery, start cutting some more, and shake my head.
Okay. All right, fade from you, Margaret.
Mm-hmm.
So you get down to breakfast. Everybody's sitting there. Your father is looking at you, smiling, grinning from ear to ear. I am so proud of you, Margie. So proud of you. Please, sit by me. Sit by me. You don't believe you've ever heard him say that?
I
Ever?
can't believe my ears quite. No, he's not usually very approving of my walk of life. So I'll enjoy it while it lasts.
Well, it's just a little strange. So you sit down. I said, so, you're going to be the new curator of the British Egyptology Museum. I'm astonished, I must say. I'm so proud. You thoroughly deserve it. Absolutely.
Oh, thank you. I can't quite believe it myself.
Well, I've taken the liberty of, he motions over to one of the servants. He comes over with a silver platter, and on top of it is a small box with a bow on top. I
What's
got this
that?
for your mother from your mother earlier. She showed me that she thought that you would like it as well. You know.
Oh,
Oh, so
why?
go ahead, AJ. And your mother, as you're
Nothing.
looking at this, you're looking at the box, and your mother kind of comes in. She's kind of head down, and so he says, "Yeah, no, please, go ahead, Margie, open it up." Arthur's next by. Yeah, good old girl, open it up.
And I take it off the tray and shake it in my hand to,
It's
sort of play
you hear
that guessing
something.
game.
You hear the little bit of a rattle in there. She says, "Oh, he's." Your father's like, "Oh, that's cheating. That's cheating," and so you're kind of rattling around. It's a little bit. It doesn't sound. It doesn't sound like something hard's in there, but it's got a little bit of weight to it. So.
Oh. So I hold it up to my ear. No sound. Could it be a ring?
Oh, it could be.
Uh,
Right,
well,
darling. Right.
I only one way for it, and I open the box.
Okay. You open up the box, and you open up the box, and inside, in a wonderful silk bedding, like a little pillow, is a bloody eyeball. And you look at it, the blood's just kind of trickling off the edges of the box itself and dripping onto the table, the white linen cloth. You look up, and your mother's smiling. Honey, don't you like it? I gave it for you. And you look at her face, and you can see her eye has been literally been cut out of her own face. I wanted you to have it. I only need one.
Oh, mother, this is horrible.
And
I
then
rush up
and,
to
and
her.
then you look down again, and it's a ring. And you look up, you see your mother. It's perfectly fine. Wow, do you like it? I picked it up.
I need to make sure. I get up out of my chair. I couldn't eat now anyway. I stand in front of my mother, and if she lets me, I'll take her face into my hands and feel if she's okay.
Oh,
I can't
she
take
seems
my eyes
fine.
off
No, she's quite flushed with excitement. Her cheeks are quite rosy, and I need you to make a sanity check for me, please, and then a power check.
Yes, that seems perfectly in order. And I don't think I can take this.
What was it?
Nope, fail and fail.
Fail and fail. Okay, you lose 6 points of sanity, which I believe that goes into about.
Not quite. I've got.
Well, isn't it 5 or more that you get a temporary bout of insanity?
5
Oh,
plus.
sorry,
yeah.
about yes.
5 plus
not,
in one go,
not,
or
not,
5 plus
not
in
4,
24
yes.
hours.
Right. So she just
Yes.
lost 6. So
Yes.
we have a temporary bout of sanity. Let's see.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
About.
All right. Well, you tell me, how would she react if just this suddenly happened?
Well, I think I can't stop getting over the bloodiness of this scene. This is really quite
So-
worrying. What with the mouse? I mean, yes, sure. I mean, that's not fine, but that wasn't somebody I loved. That wasn't a human. So
what would you do
what
if
I'll do
something
is
was
I will.
overwhelming? Yeah.
Yeah,
Go
no,
ahead.
I'll have to obsessively make sure that everybody is okay now. I mean, we're sort of a good family and English above all. So being very touchy feely is not something that comes easy to us. But just now, I'm just rushing over to everybody, and just like putting my hands on their cheeks and feeling their faces, and stroking their hair and patting the backs of their hands, and I'm just, my father is getting positively disgusted already. But there's just nothing I can do to keep myself from touching everybody. Are you
And
okay?
yeah,
Is there no blood running down your face?
you do all of these things, but here's the thing beforehand. You have no control. You bolt out of the dining room area, and immediately run up the stairs, screaming of what you just saw. And you go into your room until you actually collect yourself, and you manage to, over a period of time, get yourself under control. And you come back down, and that's what you were doing, checking everybody's face, and your hands are shaking and nervous. And yeah, you're going to be this way for some time. Yeah. And you failed the POW check as well. Right. So yeah, as you're looking at everybody looks perfectly fine. What's wrong, Margie? Oh, come on, old girl. There's nothing wrong with us. Are you okay? Did you eat a bad spot of meat or something? Something wrong?
It must be my nerves. I mean, that is a big position. Huh.
Oh, well, of course
I mean,
it is.
you
But
can
you're
tell
the
me.
right
I mean,
person
how
for the job.
prestigious is that? I know.
So they actually calm you. They say, "Oh, you managed to." Okay, I'm just overexcited about the whole experience. And you sit down and finish your breakfast.
Mm.
Going over to Erik.
Yes.
So you arrive at Royal Albert Hall. I believe it's Royal. Is that what we said first? Yes. Royal Albert Hall. And there are what looks to be hundreds, if not maybe 1,000 people there, all entering into the hall itself. You're not even sure how many seats there are in the place, but you're certain that the people are going to be. It's going to be standing room only. And you once you arrive to the basically the head manager who immediately recognized you. Oh, Mr. Lauritsen, so good of you to come. Please follow me. I will show you to your place of honor, sir.
Much appreciated.
And
thank you.
And but before we go there, I wanted to show you something that I thought you would admire. It's old, and it was just found in the Antarctic as well, not too far away from where you had made your find. And he walks over to a pedestal with a cloth over the top of it. He says, oh, here we go. So he pulls the cloth off. You immediately see the same statue that you saw at Dr. Bamford's house and at his manor house. And I will post it up for you to... You should be able to see it in Roll20. For those watching,
I see it, yes.
Yes, it's a really rather disturbing looking, like, evil mask. It's made of stone, the statue is, and it looks almost like a Hinduish, Indonesian type statue with arms and claws coming out of the hands and bulbous eyes, like almost like a kabuki mask. And it looks extremely disturbing. And this is the same statue you saw Dr. Finley tried to pick up, and he literally could not pick it up at all. And you watched Dr. Ben Whittle burn to death right in front of that thing.
I stare at it in disbelief, and I say, was this found in the Arctic?
It was just found, you see. It was in a block of ice, I believe, right next to this strange-looking rock. It was this black onyx rock. It was, apparently something happened to it. We've lost it. It was shipped here, but something happened along the way. The rock disappeared. We don't know if it was stolen or just simply lost, but it was quite a find from what I understand. But yeah, this is, we just find this amazing. What is this type of a statue doing in the middle of the Antarctic, I wonder? And I need
There
you
must be
to...
some meaning to it.
Right. Would you
Sorry,
make a power
go
check?
ahead.
Yeah.
Power check. Okay.
Yeah, power check.
Yeah. Here we go. That's the button. There we go. That's a success.
Okay. And it's suddenly all coming back to you now. That whole experience with watching Father Ben Whittle burn to a crisp, the smell of the flesh, the screams, the god-awful screams, begging anyone to help him, and there was nothing to be done. You look around. This is not real. You're convinced. This is not real. What do you do?
I close my eyes and open them again. Take a couple of steps back, look around me. Where am I? Am I in some room at the venue, or?
You're actually in the foyer. Well, it was originally the lobby area, and he took you up to a room that was just off the top.
Oh. Why would this be here? Why would he show up? The gentleman that showed me to it, is he still here?
No, he's suddenly gone. Your breathing starts to get erratic.
Yeah.
You're almost hyperventilating. What's good? What's going on?
Makes sense.
I'm sorry. And I need you to make another sand check, please.
A sanity check. Okay.
Yep. Due to the realization that this is not real.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a fail.
Okay. 3 points of sanity.
3 points. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Noted.
And just as all this happens, the room begins to spin. It's just spinning all around. You're losing your footing, and you pass out again. And you awaken to the sound of a little bit of dripping water. And you're in a room of some sort, and you see that there are other tables around you. There are other people other people that are on these other platforms, or it actually feels like a piece of stone that you're laying on, and your wrists are tied. They seem to be strapped down to this table. And you look over. I want you to make a spot hidden for me, please. With a bonus die.
With a bonus die. Okay, so that's the other button. There we go. So that's a success.
Okay, definitely across the way, you see Margaret laying there on a slab. Her arms are tied. You can see you see her head's moving, and you actually can see well enough because there's some light coming into the room. You can see her eyes are moving underneath. Her eyelids are closed, but you see they're darting back and forth as if she's in the middle of a dream.
REM movement.
Yes. So, what do you do?
Was he strapped down?
You're strapped down at the moment. Yes.
With ropes or?
It feels. You think it's maybe a hemp rope. You think you can't
Okay.
quite tell. It's hard to see. There's a little bit of ambient light in here, but not much. There's a doorway. It's not. There's no door there. It's just an opening because it's like you realize this is a cave.
Yeah.
This is like an antechamber
because of the dripping and the humidity. My first instinct is to pull the restraints and just see how well I'm actually strapped down.
So you're actually going to try to break out?
No, I'm just trying it first.
Just going to pull. Okay, well,
how much of a resistance it is.
Right. So when you do that, it's pretty tight.
Okay. Do I see, hear, or sense the presence of anyone else in the room?
Funny you should mention that. In the center of the room, you kind of look down and over. You do see some wisps of smoke kind of coming up. And you see that in the center of the room, there is what looks to be a pot of sand and incense sticks stuck in it. And there's several of these sticks are burning. You feel a little woozy in your head. But you notice a man comes walking in. You've seen before. Black curly hair, beard. Walks over to you. Stands above your body. Smiles. It's Nigel Higgins, or at least his body.
I look him in the eye. I don't say anything.
You're awake. No matter. You'll all die anyway. No matter. I have things to attend. I will drink your blood before the night is out. He turns and leaves. Very robotic walking. Just kind of. What do you do?
I wait for him to leave.
Okay. Literally, it's a few seconds and he's gone.
Does he disappear into the shadows, or does he leave through?
He goes out the door. You can see that there's lights outside. This is man-made lighting.
Okay.
They're outside. Although off in the distance you do see some natural lighting, but which you guess that this must be from an opening up in the ceiling, where some light has come in. But you see him walk out, turn left, and he's no longer within sight. I take that back. He turns right. Sorry, turns right, and no longer in sight.
I look over to Margaret. Is she still dreaming? Still sleeping?
It appears so. You look for a moment. For a moment there, you see her face looks distressed, as if whatever dream she's having was a nightmare.
I call out to her. Not loud at first, because I don't know the acoustics of this room. So I say, "Hey, Margaret. Hey, wake up."
Okay. Margaret, I want you to make a listen check, please. With a penalty die.
You're muted.
No? Okay. No? So you say you call out to her. You didn't get very loud. But she doesn't seem to respond.
I'm a bad listener.
I
what I said.
Yeah. I I ponder calling out a bit louder, but I don't want to draw the attention of whomever is outside. So do I have I been kind of stripped of my equipment? I suppose I still have my clothes on me, but
You have
my
your clothes on,
weapons,
sure.
yeah.
No weapons. Mm.
No weapons, no knife.
You've been stripped of all that. No knives. No.
Yeah. Yeah,
No.
okay. I'm going to try my strength against the restraints and just see if there's any point to it, which I should,
Okay.
notice quite quickly.
Right. All right. Go ahead and make a strength check.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's an extreme success if that's any
Well,
relevant.
so you try with your left hand, and this thing isn't budging at all. But then when you try with the right, you notice there's a portion of the rope is slightly cut. And with all your might,
weak
you
point.
jerk it up and it snaps free, and you manage to get your right arm free.
Okay.
And we're going to fade from you.
Yeah.
All right. Mikolas.
Yeah.
So, believe, where do we leave you at exactly? You were having breakfast? Yes?
We left off after I realized that something is off.
Right.
Yes, Catherine just entered the room and told us to hurry up.
Right.
Abigail started dressing up, and yeah, something's clearly off. This is doesn't look real to me.
Did you? Right. So you realized something was off. Did you make a POW check?
Yeah, it was a successful one. Also, I had a penalty.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you definitely know that something's not right here.
Right.
Yeah, this
Still,
is not right.
Still, I'll try. I would like to try my gift. Let's call it that this way.
Okay.
And try to contact Abigail and or Catherine, because it was earlier this morning, at least in my memories, my dreams, that Flowers or some person called Nigel told me that he took them, right?
Right.
So I wanna try and reach out to them and see if they are really gone or if they're still there.
Okay.
And depending on the result,
Mm-hmm.
we'll see what happens. So can I try my ESP? I'm not sure if it's gonna work in this dreamlike state.
Absolutely. You certainly can try it.
Okay, right. So it's a hard success. 32
Okay. Okay. So you reach out with your mind and you call out. You don't actually call out verbally. You just call out with your mind. You reach out as far as you can reach. You hear nothing. Dead silence.
Okay. Well, in which case, living this dream, this fake reality is better than living reality without them. So I'll play along. I'll enjoy as much time as I have with them. I'll go downstairs and have breakfast.
Okay. So, yeah, you go downstairs, and you're sitting at the table, and the servants are bringing around your meals. There's kippers, there's anything you can think of, it's there. And you look down, you're eating some of your food, and you're just enjoying it for a moment. And then you look up and you look over at your daughter, and she's so beautiful. She's just fantastic. And you look down again, and you're kind of eating some more. And you look up and you see a child's face that is visibly stitched out of multiple other faces. One eye is drooping out. The mouth is necrosed. This it's like her. You see, trying to add food to it. It's just, and the right arm is sort of an automaton. It's made of metal, and there's a portion of it that's wood, and it's somehow or another fused together with the shoulder. And you notice there are arcane symbols on here, very similar to the arcane symbols that you saw on the rail car. And she looks up at you. Don't you like it, Daddy? And her teeth start falling out. Her nose is just kind of crumbling. And she's trying to give herself some food, but she's shoving this knife directly into her face over and over again. It's so good, Daddy. Is it so good? And you look over to your wife. She's, yes, honey. It's fantastic. I love it. I love it so much. It just blows my oh, and she takes the knife and slits her own throat, and blood just spews out. And just smiling. And it's a sanity check.
Okay. All right. See how
I know this is bad for you, but I mean, you're on the road.
I succeeded. 22 out
Holy
of
shit.
35. Yes.
Yeah,
All right.
you're having a good breakfast.
How did you succeed that one?
Okay, so you succeeded.
How much did I lose?
You still lose 3 points.
All right. Okay, that's fair.
No, but you succeed. That's amazing. Because I thought for certain we were going to see you. That's great. Okay. Yeah, David will probably have a break here in another 30 minutes. If that's okay with everyone. Okay, so that is Nicholas. So you managed to pull yourself together. What are you doing immediately after seeing all that? After you see all that, and then you just you put your head down, you look back up, and they're perfectly fine. You know.
All right. I'll think to myself that they might not be real, but that's the closest thing I can get out of this suggestion. So I will put my arm on Catherine's shoulder and tell her, "Don't worry, dear. We'll fix it. We'll fix everything. Everything can be fixed."
She said, "Of course, dear, of course." And you pat your hand on your shoulder. Your hand almost sinks into this necrotic flesh, into her shoulder, and you get a handful of squirming maggots into your hand, and you slot it away, and you shake your head and look back, and she's just smiling. She's perfectly fine. Shoulder looks fine. Everything else.
Yeah, that can be replaced. Can be stitched back.
Okay. All right. Moving from, we're going to fade from you. Okay. All right. Lennox.
Yes.
Where exactly did we leave off with you? You just
I was about
at the
to
house.
go back to. Well, I was trying my products and getting back to my room, but I think actually, as I try the variety of beers that I produce at my Little Devil Brewing Company, I'll, if the first 2, 3, 4 beers seem right, taste seems fine, I think I ease up, I relax a bit, and yeah, maybe all of that London stuff was just a dream. Maybe that all was just. Maybe there was a bad hoax of the employees playing a prank, playing some British songs across.
Of course.
Yeah.
There has to be a rational.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now make a pow check.
Yeah.
We'll see how much of a sense it actually does make.
Well, it's a hard success, so I don't know what that means.
It means that every one of those beers that you picked up tastes like piss. You spit that out, and you taste another one. Literally tastes like kerosene. It's horrid. Another one you pick up, and it's actually blood. And you look back at it, and it doesn't go back to normal. This is exactly what's going on.
Okay.
And you stand back, and
I'll step back a bit, and clearly disheveled about what I just realized. Guys, I appreciate the pranks, but like, we can stop right now, right? Like, this is a bit too much.
Andrew's like, we can't stop at all.
No.
Man,
We're gonna stop now. We're gonna stop now. Do you understand?
No, we can't stop now. You can't stop now. You start to get breathing heavily. You're hyperventilating. It's like,
I do.
You know,
I do
just
feel
going
that,
into the
yes.
state. Yes, and you pass out. Everything goes black.
I'll try to grab a beer while I fall down. Just this shit and smash it on the ground.
Okay.
Yeah,
I will say that you actually managed to grab all the beers, and it smashes on the ground. And once you hit the ground, your head lolls to one side, and you just out. And after a few moments, you seem to be kind of in a void for a moment.
Ooh.
And yes, it's that moment where the other side speaks to you. What does he say?
You've always been weak. Never had the strength to do anything. Try to please everyone with your designs of your creations, of being the one that is pleasing the public. But you know as well as I do that none of this truly matters. You know who they are, who it is that speaks to you. And you know you've neglected it for too long. I think that's the first thing that comes to his mind, or that he hears.
And about the time that you say it's you've neglected it for too long, you start to regain some consciousness, and you find yourself in a hollowed out cave-like room, and then you see 4 other bodies on slabs, kind of like what you're on right now. You feel your hands or wrists are tied, and you see one of them, the figures, has managed to break free of one of the ropes, and you recognize him immediately. It's Erik. It's Lauritsen.
Erik, please tell me that you can hear me.
Hear him.
Do I hear him?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Mr. Morgan. Good morning.
Fuck the pleasantries! Get me out of this shit!
Yes, I'm working on it, Mr. Morgan. But please keep your cool. And I start trying to undo my.
Keep it cool. What the fuck is wrong with you? Do you see where we're at? What is happening? Why are we here? What is? He's just struggling, and he's shaking, and he's like not doing anything, but like he's trying to get as much attention and affirmation.
Maybe you should take an intelligence check for me.
Why? I don't know what. Well, let's see. Yeah, it's a success.
Okay. I only did this because immediately comes to your mind, oh, maybe I shouldn't be screaming so loud.
I get that.
Just saying at that moment.
I get that.
At that moment.
I get that.
Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm.
But I think Lennox will continue to scream. I shouldn't.
Okay.
I shouldn't.
All right.
But I will. Because
Okay.
I am bound. My companions are bound. We are clearly in...
So he's freaking out.
Yeah,
basically what
he's
it boils down to. So, all right. Okay, so, Erik, what are you going to do?
I try to stay calm and start undoing my other hand so I can release myself.
It takes you a bit because it's literally you had to kind of stretch underneath, and you're doing this with one hand relatively. It takes a few minutes, but you manage to get it undone. And Lennox is over literally across and to the left. He's actually closest to the doorway, believe it or not. And he's struggling. And so, what do you do?
Can I get up?
Oh yeah,
Am I
certainly can.
my legs restrained as well? Just the arms.
Well, no, I take that back. So your legs were restrained as well, but you were able to get them untied as well because your hands were free.
My arms free.
So yeah, you're all four of your extremities were tied down. But again, you managed to get those free.
I quickly check the room and see if there is anything sharp that I can arm myself with.
Funny you should say that.
Yes, I have a tendency to say funny things.
What are the odds? You know what? There is apparently a table behind sitting, a small little table. It's up against the wall. That happens to have a couple sticks, a couple loaves of bread, and inside of one of the loaves of bread is a firmly stuck knife.
Well, that's a pretty loaf of leaf.
Extract the knife from the bread.
Say.
And is it like a sharp knife, like a kitchen knife?
It looks like it could cut the bread. Okay. It's kind of it's just more of a kitchen knife type. It's not meant for any kind of battle, but it's a weapon. So
can I cut a rope with it?
It takes you a lot less time than it did with getting out with your bare fingers. So yes, you certainly can.
Sure.
Lennox, what do you say? You see him doing all this. What are you saying, Lennox?
Lennox, in the meantime, will bring out his vocabulary of insults to the finest, of Boston insults, as best as he can, claiming that Mr. Lauritsen here is a very calm and rational person that is not required for the situation, and he should please hurry up. Now imagine that in swear words.
There you go.
Yes, Mr. Morgan. We'll get to that in a second. And I walk over.
He's very loud and clear about that you should hurry up.
Yes, I've noticed. It's being very loud.
So what are you doing? Sorry, exactly.
I stand over him for a second with the knife, and I say, Mr. Morgan, would you please calm down? I will.
Yes, Mr. Lauritsen, I will calm down the moment you will cut these ropes. I am totally calm. Yes. Just cut these ropes, get me free, and we can get the hell out of here. Okay?
I lean in over him with the knife, and I kind of look up.
Okay. So I have weird feelings when you come that close with a knife to me, Mr. Lauritsen. I would encourage you to at least keep some distance to me, as this gets me a bit uncomfortable due to whatever reason, and I just feel like you and a knife and a strapped-down body is not a good combination you should be in. And maybe I could help you free these others more faster than you could by yourself. If you...
Are you done, Mr. Morgan?
No, I'm not done. If you just...
over him. And I slowly start carving the rope. And I look up at him, and I look him in the eye, and I say... May I ask you a question, Mr. Morgan?
I think at that point he just quiets up and he just body stiffens and he looks at you in this like,
You know what makes? Do you know, Mr. Morgan, what makes the measure of a man? And I start carving the rope. It's the measure of a man is what he's willing to sacrifice, to give up. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Morgan?
His eyes just go wide. Making weird noises.
Awesome. I'm almost through the first rope here, and I say, so there's 5 things, Mr. Morgan, you could give up. Suppose you could give up your possessions, your faith, your morality, your sanity, or your life. Which one would you pick, Mr. Morgan? And I pause just a second and look him in the eye.
You get to visit Lennox. The other side.
Oh no, what have I done?
I think he would look you into the eye, terrified, and you can see his like paranoid face staring into yours, and then you can almost feel his body relaxing, and his whole demeanor seems to change to a softer tone, calmer. You think you know what a sacrifice is? Oh, I bet you do. You seem to me like a man who sacrificed more than he was willing to do in the first place, but he did so for a good cause. And a good cause is nowadays hard to find, isn't it? And we both know that a good cause needs reason, and reason needs to be up to some code, something that a man can stand against. Oh yes, I know what you mean. Morality, love, relationship, that's all bollocks. When it comes to a man's code, it is something that cannot be changed. And I agree with you. Sacrifices must be paid for this. And I think he would actively move his hand towards you, so you cut him, or he like rams his hand into the knife.
Yeah.
Sacrifices are necessary for a good cause.
Erik smiles, nods, and unravels the rope on one of his hands, and then I hand him the knife and I say, I trust you to undo the other, and I walk over to Miss Mayfair.
Before you walk away, he will take the knife, but quickly put it to the side, and stretches out his hand for like a handshake.
I accept it.
And he nods, and while you go off, he picks up the knife and cuts himself loose and gets himself off the table.
But as we shake
before we go any
hands,
further.
Sorry, yes, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. What you're going to say?
As we shake hands, I make a comment, and I said, you would live well on the tundra, Mr. Morgan. And then I turn around and walk over to Miss Mayfair.
Okay. For those of you, I need Johannes, Margaret, and Dr. Finley. I need you to all make listen checks.
I succeed.
Oh, close
Failed.
one.
It's a basic success.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The most basic of successes.
So you're really far away. Okay. From you want as much of a okay. So how? All right. So it wouldn't matter for you. Let's say. All right. So yeah, your things that are going on in your particular areas right now are still the same. So And with that, we're going to take a break. So. This is going to get interesting. I have a very cool Sirenscape set that's perfect for this. So, okay, you can start whenever you're. Oh, wait a minute! Before we get to who do we leave off with? That was with Erik and you guys cutting yourselves free, pretty much.
Yes.
Okay. All right, you can start up. And we're back. So we left with Lennox freaking out, quite literally, and going into a very dark moment there. And both Erik and Lennox are now free of their bonds. And currently, both of you here outside some sort of mantra, something in the background.
Before you say outside, what is the room looking like that we are in?
Okay. Now that you're kind of up and you're not laying flat, it's very dark in this room, but you literally have, there's 6 different stone slabs that they've literally got in a semicircular formation. The room that you're in is almost completely circular. It's carved out of stone. This apparently has been here for quite a long time. In the center of the room is a massive urn with sand in it and incense sticks that are still burning. You're feeling very dizzy right now. In fact, I want both of you to make constitution checks for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think that will fare well with... Nope, it won't.
Okay, so you're feeling very dizzy. So actions like you need to make, stuff like that, you're gonna have to have a penalty die.
Okay.
Yeah, I also failed.
Same with you then. So until you're free of that room and get some fresh air, So that's what you see in the room. The room itself has there's nothing on the ceiling. It's just a dark stone ceiling. It's like freaking Fred Flintstones. Think of that with all of the stones in here. All right, so you hear chanting in the distance.
So I'm untied, right? And Erik, you go to help Margaret.
Margaret, I start untying Margaret.
She's still out.
Yeah, but I'll untie her anyway.
Okay. So I'm going to assume that you tie everybody.
Well, I will go to Dr. Finley as well and starting to untie him. But I will just gently brush his cheek. It's gonna be fine, Doctor.
Your wife reaches up to you while you're sitting at...
You're my friend.
Okay, yeah.
And you will help me if I need help. And I kind of cut him up, but yes, probably inadvertently in his mind, it might seem like something else.
Miklas, take a POW check, please, for me.
All right.
Yep.
Let's see. Failed.
Okay.
By long shot.
So, your wife reaches up to you, and she starts to stroke your face, and then you hear Lennox's voice come out of her mouth, saying the exact words he just said.
Oh boy.
It almost calls for a sanity check, almost, but I think we can let that one go. But,
That's just a regular thing the doctor has to go through, hearing Lennox's voice through his dad's wife embodiment.
Yeah. I think that in my mind, I believe that this flower is messing around with me, so I won't. I'll take it. I'll take it. It's worth
Okay.
it. So I'll grab her arm, her hand, and hold it on my face for a moment, and then kiss it.
Right. You kiss it, and she just smiles, and it's warming to your heart. However, their hand to your face feels stone cold.
Doctor, you need to wake up now. You have to wake up.
No, Abigail, I don't want to wake up, dear.
Of course you don't want to wake up, dear. It's fine. You're fine. You can go back to bed later. It's all right. Really. Yes, Daddy, it's fine. You can go back to bed. I'll even help you.
Please, wake up, Doctor. I need you. Fading, like, in the distance.
Make a listen check, Doctor. Yeah.
Damn, it's a success. Okay. Success. 17 out of 30.
I know you want to stay in there.
Damn, it's a success. And so you literally hear, and when you hear Lennox's voice, you look up at your wife and his voice coming out of her mouth again, and she's just caressing your face. It's stone cold, This is
Doctor.
her
Doctor,
tongue
wake
looks
up.
gray and necrotic.
I think that. All right. I think that I will open up my ass, really for real this time. Blink a couple of times.
Okay, so that's exactly what happened. You basically, after you hear Lennox's voice and stuff like that, you shake your head. You're like, oh, wait. You're kind of in and out. You're trying to hold on, but with Lennox on top of this, yeah, it's a little hard to hold on to the vision.
Yeah, I probably also
that's
when he
going on.
wakes up and struggles a bit, I'm gonna slap him, like really like into the face, just to make sure that he's awake.
Yeah. Well, as you're like pulling away, Mikula says, as you're pulling, or Dr. Finley, as you're pulling away, you just see her face contort. And it's back to what you saw previously, and you hear,
No!
Well, I won't say anything, but I knew it was him. But still, it was worth it.
Doc.
yeah. So
Doc,
when you wake up,
get your
and
things together.
Why did you wake me up?
Because we need you. Now, pull yourself together and get on with it. We don't know where the heck we are, and I think that's where Lennox just leaves him and like heads off to free Johannes.
Okay. So, Johannes, you're enjoying this wonderful dinner with your wife and daughter. It's fantastic. And I'm assuming you're going to be doing the same thing, Lennox, as far as calling out to him, that type of thing.
No, he's just gonna smack him in the face until he wakes up.
Okay. Yeah. So, make a POW check. Johannes, your wife reaches up. She's like, "Caressing, I'm so glad to have you back home." Pap! Right aside the face. You're like, "What the? Oh, I'm so sorry, dear. I didn't really mean it." Pap! And she says, "Lay you out at the table." You're like, "Oh my god!" And with that last one, you get very dizzy, and I need you to make a POW check, and you get it at with a bonus die.
Hard success at the bonus die.
Yeah. So you're holding your face as you're suddenly kind of starting to wake up, and I don't know. Have you already got him untied, Lennox?
No. He's gonna
Or-
smack him until he
no.
wakes up, and then he's gonna untie him. There's a reasoning to
Okay,
the
well,
madness.
Unless you be smacked back.
Yeah, exactly. That's why.
So Yeah, so that's exactly you literally just you're all dizzy. You're literally your right cheek, or sorry, left cheek is like on fire. Okay, you see Lennox just at that moment. You kind of wake up, and Lennox is like, "Oh, you're awake." and he starts to release. You're dizzy. I need you to make a Constitution check.
Oh, my dump's dead. I succeed.
Okay, so you do not have any negatives due to the incense. And last but not least, everybody seems to be awake now, except for Margaret. Who's doing the honors with that one?
That's Erik.
I think since I have had the time to untie her, I try to kind of gently wake her up.
Okay. Okay.
In the meantime, you hear in the background like a smack, smack, smack.
Yeah. I'm trying to be a bit more of a gentleman in this case. I'll try to gently wake her up.
Okay.
Somehow, if that works.
So, you arrive at, the museum, Margaret, and there's several people, like about 50 people here that are assembled, along with photographers. There's photographers, a couple of reporters who are local from the paper of London, and they're all very, very excited because it's basically turned into a press conference, is what this turned into. And so you have made your way up to the podium to basically, and you basically started to thank thank everyone for this wonderful honor. I'm very happy to be here. And about that time, as you're speaking, you're just like, and I really, and you feel yourself being shaken. And it's just like out of control. You can't control yourself. It's almost like a seizure. You're not sure what's going on. It's almost like a seizure. And then I need you to make a power check, please.
Yes. All I can think is, what will the people say? She was having a seizure when she was giving an acceptance speech.
And what'd you get? Oh,
I failed.
And that is not even close. All right.
Nope.
So just at that moment, you're shaking, and the president or the chairman of the board for the museum comes walking over and says, "Oh, Dr. Playfair." And you're like, "Doctor?" And then you realize suddenly, as it popped into your head, "Oh yes, you were given an honorary doctorate from the Oxford University as part of the whole archaeologist, because of the amazing work that you've done." So you're like, okay. So you begin continuing on with your speech. You kind of get yourself right. And, okay, it's fine. And Erik, you shake her pretty good, and she seems like she's going to come out of it, and then she's like, so yeah, she didn't quite come out of that yet. What do you do?
I don't want to slap her. Do I have any? Have anything I can pour over her?
How about the time-honored pinching off the nose?
And where are the smelling salts, Doctor?
Oh yeah.
No, you don't.
Yeah, don't have anything.
His bag's not here.
Yeah, but do I just have some liquid that I can pour on her?
Oh, they're on the table behind her, where the bread was. There's a nice, what looks to be some sort of a kaffir of. Looks like there's fluid in there.
Okay, I pick it up, check if there is fluid in it.
Sorry.
And
Sorry, what'd you do again? Apology.
Sorry, I check if there's liquid in it, and I kind of quickly ascertain that it's water, and once I've done that, I'll pour that on her face.
Well, you shake it around and you put your finger in it. It's not water.
Oh.
It seems to be
What
oil.
is it? Okay, I'm not gonna pour that on her.
Glad you checked.
Or? Yeah, glad I checked. Yeah, no,
I am
no,
at
I'm
that
not
age
that
where it's
cruel.
good for the skin, you know.
Yeah, that is true,
Might have
but
been
it
helpful.
would be it would exceed the limits of my chivalry to do that.
You-
So
you
I
think-
just
You think by the smell of it, it's linseed oil.
okay. That's
Could be worse.
interesting in itself.
Which is highly
Yeah.
flammable. But yeah.
But great
I
for
know.
oak.
So yeah, I'll pinch her lightly. By lightly, I mean not so lightly.
Where are we going to pinch her? Just out of curiosity.
Not the Lennox.
The
school
arm,
of
maybe?
pinching.
Arm. That's
The arm. Okay. Gonna pinch her on the arm.
yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, you're in the middle of your speech. You're finished giving your speech, and you're actually giving out autographs. Everybody's coming up to you asking for autographs. So wonderful to meet you. If they had phones, they'd do selfies, but they don't have phones. So they're getting your autographs, autograph books, and one of the reporters goes, "Hey, good afternoon, Miss Playfair. It was good to meet you. I'm Robin Jones from UK London Variety. Is there a possibility that we could have do an interview with you? You have some time, maybe? Now, maybe right after this. 30 minutes is all I need.
That's
Yeah.
lovely.
Fantastic. All right. If you don't mind. All right, everyone. She's Miss Playfair. Dr. Playfair is done giving her autographs. We can try again later. That's it for today. And he turns around and says, "Oh, shall we?" And he points over to an office. And as you're walking towards the door, he holds his arm out, as in, to take your arm, take you over to the door. And when he pulled his arm out, you hook your arm in, and just as you do that, you feel a sharp pain in your left arm. And I mean, it feels like you've just been bitten by something. And I need you to make a check, a pow check.
Ah, finally! I'm not
You
going
succeed.
to say so forever.
Okay, so yeah, when you do that, you feel the pinch, and you look down at your arm. Literally, it looks like your arm has been severed, and is hanging on by just a thread of tissue. The blood is pouring all over the place. It is falling down to the ground. It falling down to the floor. It's splattering all over the floor. He's like, "Oh my lord, dear miss, I believe you've lost something there." And it's about this time you need to make a sand check. And yeah.
And that doesn't go down too well.
Okay. So 2 points.
I'm one away
And-
from a door, just saying.
Okay. Well, you have you are now awake. You're like you feel his pinch, and you see
I
You
checked that
see,
my arm's still there.
Eric's like got a hold of your arm, and he's like.
What? How?
Yeah.
Well, where's the museum? I mean, where am I?
Mighty
I'm
good
sorry, I
question,
didn't
Miss
hear you there.
Miss Playfair.
Oh,
Echoes from the other corner.
Oh,
I say,
Lennox here.
pardon
Everybody's
the indiscretion, Miss Playfair, but I do believe breakfast is served, so, and I step away.
That is so not right. And you wouldn't know that.
Yes.
All right, but still, it's fine.
Yeah.
All right.
I find everybody else there, I guess, and where's the opera? Is this
Yes.
the opera?
There's no opera. Focus, woman. We're bound. We were bound. We're imprisoned. We're barely made free. Probably just as he finished
Anybody
slapping
caught eye
Johannes.
of our captors?
Say again.
Has anybody laid eye on our captors?
No. No.
No, I actually met. I met him previously.
Oh no.
Oh,
We
no.
must hurry.
What?
This is gonna be them bleeding the princess. Quick! Our time is running out.
You're hearing this chanting coming from outside. It's getting louder. Or actually, it was really loud and it got really quieter. So,
Is it coming from a visible direction with like a throughway or something?
Like a door.
you're only looking out the main, just the doorway. You see a pathway on the ground, and you see literally green fauna. We're talking, this is like almost like a terrarium in here. There's lots of plants and stuff, like a jungle type thing, which is weird because you're underground quite a bit. But you see the pathway leads to the right, and it seems like that the sound is coming from the right.
All right, and we're inside this cave. The question is there anything else inside this cave? This antechamber you mentioned?
Other than the knife and a loaf of bread that's kind of stale and a little bit moldy. No, that's pretty much it.
And there's only one exit?
Only one exit.
All right.
Yep. Need all of you to make a listen check, please.
Doctor, what are you thinking about?
Someone fumbled.
Yeah, me.
But Johannes hears everything.
Okay. So. Okay, so everybody else is too, a little bit dazed by everything. But Johannes, you managed to clear your head somewhat, and you definitely hear footsteps coming this direction from the right, and it's more than one.
Is there anything besides the bread knife,
Which Lennox still has.
which Lennox still has, that one could use as a weapon?
That's it.
Like literally,
nothing
like
else here.
something like a table leg or anything. There's no furniture, nothing.
This is literally, it's like I said, think of Flintstones. It's like a stone slab with a couple of heavy stone
How strong
like legs
are
underneath
you?
it.
I am very weak.
Yeah, this is nothing that you could use as a weapon. I'm going to say, make a luck roll.
And we have none of our like stuff that we have in the pocket. I mean, like even took
You've
like
been
my
stripped
watch
of
and shit.
everything.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Yeah, you've been stripped of everything. So,
Am I still wearing the vest of my like 3-piece?
oh yeah, you got that much.
Okay, cool. I take that off and get ready to strangle somebody with a vest who comes through.
Well, you did wait a minute. You got a success with your luck roll. That's not a hard, but it's a success. All right. So you do see just underneath one of the tables that each of you were laying on, you see a rock about this big.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, well, I'll position myself next to the entrance with a rock, ready to smack somebody on the head with a rock.
Okay.
Signal to the
What
other
are-
ones that I'm hearing somebody coming.
Okay. What are the rest of you doing?
A quick question. You mentioned there was some incense or something like that.
Yep. There's about 5 sticks of incense that are still burning.
There's sand,
feeling
people.
woozy.
Pocket sand.
Okay, so I'm thinking flammable oil plus an ignition source. Could that work?
It is quite possible that you could use the flammable oil and possibly, and I say possibly, ignite that with one of the incense sticks that are burning.
Okay, that's my plan. That's my plan.
Well, a lady always has a stabby implement on her.
Okay. I'll let that,
Serious?
But yeah, no, I get
She
it. But
just reduced it.
yeah, I'll let that.
This is more than a luck roll.
Okay. All right. So, Dr. Finley, what are you doing?
I think that Lennox asked me a question on what do I think, and I will lean closer to him in this conspiring way and tell him that why fight them? They can bind and summon flowers. He can tell them things. He can make them. They can make him tell things. Maybe there's a way. We take advantage of that. What do you think? I'd do anything for to meet Abigail again. Have I told you about Abigail? We can't win. They're too many. They're too strong. Look at the others. Weaklings. You're smarter than this.
Doctor, you disappoint me. You're easily persuaded by this ill magic, this trickery of the mind. You know as well as I do that this is just but an illusion, nothing more than a trickery.
That's good enough for me. I can live with that.
He looks the doctor like, I mean, he fumbled his listener also. He doesn't care anything but the conversation.
Yep.
Doctor, you are sure you want to live in this perpetual illusion, this dream-like state? This unbound to reality that is bound to maybe something more than just a sacrifice to something higher. You might die. Are you willing to die?
I don't care anymore. I just want to be with them again. They're not here anymore. I reached out to them. They're not here. They're gone. And I'd rather have this illusion than nothing. But seeing that you are... Yeah,
Lennox will lean in and will take your hand, in his hand, and he will kind of strike it a bit and says, Doctor, you've been a good friend, and if this is what you want, I will make sure that you get what you want. If it means your death, you shall have it.
Much appreciated, Mr. Morgan. And, I'll put my other hand on top of yours again. Yeah, I'll give you this understanding nod. Let's see what happens.
I think Lennox doesn't hear anything but that conversation right now. Like, he's fully focused on Doctor.
Okay. And just about that time, you hear footsteps very close to the front of the doorway, and you see two shadows started to come around the corner. And they stop for a moment. They pass by the doorway and they stop for a moment. One looks in. You hear him say something unintelligible to the other one. And he pulls out a knife from his belt. They look like they've seen something. And they're about to enter. You believe we're going to start with combat here, so whoever's got the highest decks.
That's me.
Are you sure? How much dexterity you have?
90.
Okay.
Oh my.
Right.
Wow,
Shit.
that's gotta be you.
Oh god.
Yeah, he's pretty freaking fast. So, all right. So you come flying. They start to walk in, and you're literally on top of them. I'm assuming you're going to make a strike with the stone. Okay, make a brawl check for me, please.
I was about to say, do I get a bonus die? But they probably see something coming, so...
Actually, no. I will give you a bonus die for that because they don't see you. They're...
There we go.
And
You could spend 2 points of luck.
To make this... The stone is not an impaling weapon, sir.
No.
Do we spend luck on fighting rolls?
Yeah,
then?
well, that depends on the GM too.
How much
what's that
is
again?
the damage of that stone?
I was thinking 1d4.
Improvised weapon, that's the usual.
Yeah.
I give him a resounding knock on the head that goes... boink.
1 point. Or did you hit?
Oh.
Did you hit it all?
Yeah, I hit it all, but...
Okay. All right. Hold on. I really need to do something about it. All right. So, all right. You take a swing, and you maybe grazed off the top of his head. Who's got the next highest?
I've got 60. I'm not sure.
60.
Yeah. So whoever's got 60, both of you got 60. You guys. You can decide who gets to
Dr.
go
Finley
first.
should go first because I didn't hear anything.
I have a 72. I
Oh,
might
there you
do
go.
the next one. in
Oh, well,
line.
there you go. All right. So what are you going to do, Margaret? You see one of them steps in the doorway. He's got a knife in his hand, and Johannes took a swing, but didn't quite connect with him.
Well, I distracted him for you.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So, while I think that a Victorian woman dress is sort of replete with little stabbing instruments, be they, shawl pins, hair pins, hat pins, or anything else, I think actually using a shawl or some such to, well, if not tie somebody up, then sort of kind of, hobble or disable them might be the better move.
Okay. So, in other words, what you're saying is you're going to try to attack with your hairpin.
No, I'm trying to sort of make the person incapable of attacking me or somebody else by not binding, but sort of wrapping them in my shawl.
That would be a fighting brawl maneuver in the rules.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would definitely agree with fighting brawl maneuver. So it's going to be yours against him. So go ahead and make your roll.
Not like I'm a big brawler, but at this point I am desperate. Well,
Yeah, he had a 27 to your 48. So you basically jump out there, try to wrap him up in your shawl, and he manages to get his arm up and takes the knife and slices down and basically goes right through your shawl, and you're standing there with like 2 pieces right now.
Son of a bitch! It took me 2 months to knit that.
Okay, so whoever's the 60s, you guys are next.
Miss Playfair has a knitted shawl. I would assume like Egyptian cotton or something, but not a knitted shawl.
Well, whatever the case
Probably
is, it's it's in pieces now.
I'll give Dr. Finley the upper hand.
Right. So 2 men enter the room, the chamber, and they're both armed with knives.
Correct. They're wearing brown robes with a brown hood up, and they seem to have a chain across their neck. You can't quite see what it says on it because it's too dark in the room. But yeah, and you see Johannes take a swing and just misses, and Margaret attempts to wrap up the same guy with her shawl. That didn't quite work out, and so you're up.
Okay. Question is, do they both look distracted by Margaret's and Johannes's actions?
Right now, their eyes are having to adjust. The only 2 people that they really know is in the room. They know there may be other people there, but you can't really see because their eyes haven't adjusted. So all the people they know that's in the room that are their assailants are Johannes and now Margaret.
Right. So, would I get a bonus die in case I wanted to move her up behind them? And
absolutely, if you're able to do it without stealthily, you have stealth.
Yeah, I only have 20%, but never know. Yeah, that chain looks interesting. So yes, I'll attempt that.
Okay, make your stealth roll.
Nope, complete failure.
Oh hell no! Yeah, that's.
Yeah, fail.
All right. Well, it doesn't. It's not that you literally try to edge your way around, and instead of actually them not noticing you, they see that now that they see you plainly now. So now they see 3 people in the room rather than just 2. So if is that the only actions you're going to do? Is we were going to try and sneak around, or are you going to? I guess that's one action, right?
Yeah, I think that's one action.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess that's your turn then. Yeah. All right. So I guess you're up, Lennox.
Being obviously pointed out to another distraction in the room, he will turn around, hopefully see that there are 2 intruders, and he will try to use his ability to project some thoughts. May I?
Very good. Give yourself an inspiration point, please.
Oh, thank you.
Need to think about using that stuff, guys.
Me.
Did you fail it?
98 out of 71.
You know what? Instantly use that inspiration to reroll.
I will use that inspiration to just reroll immediately because I think. Okay. Seriously, I will push that by.
Oh, you're gonna push it instead of just use the inspiration point. Okay.
Well, I did use the inspiration and I still failed.
Well, then you don't need to push it. You just.
No, he already failed the second roll.
I failed the second roll too.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yes. So I will push the roll by stepping closer towards them. Obviously holding, just stepping towards them. And focusing much more intensely on them, but obviously exposing myself to them. Come on. Oh, at least a success. Okay.
All right. So, remind me again exactly what you were doing.
So, what I do is, now that I have a success, I calmly walk towards them. And in their head, I will try to project this most abyssal, dark voice that they could ever imagine, that just tells them, your death will be valuable sacrifice. Do not fret. Do not fear death. Death is only the beginning. And I will slowly step towards them, brandishing the knife that I hold.
You see them. One of them makes a crossover sign, but it's a very interesting way he does it. It's down, up, cross, as in an inverted cross.
Yep.
So, and they both back away, and they run off. But they clearly run in the same direction where the other people are at.
He walks up to the doctor and says, "Well done, doctor. I think you've warded them away."
Yes. It must be the masters, I think.
All right.
They will alert the others now. We need to get moving.
Yep. What are you guys doing?
I think the doctor's right.
We need to get moving.
Okay.
Judging by all the chanting, the ritual must be in full swing, and the princess probably doesn't have long.
Well,
if she doesn't have long, then we should hurry.
Is Erik going to take the pitcher of oil for emergency use?
Yes. Since I didn't get to use it, what I'll do is now that I have a few moments, I'll perfect it a bit more by procuring a piece of cloth. Maybe
Yes,
by
I think I
tearing
have
it off.
a torn shawl that will serve nicely.
Oh yes, very good. So I'll make an improvised Molotov cocktail out of the jar of linseed oil. And I'll keep an eye out for maybe a bit more of a reliable ignition source than the one I have, which is the incense. Is there like a torch or anything burning anywhere?
you come out. Inside, no, there's nothing. But outside, there's lighting there, but it's not by flame. It's actually an electric light, and you can actually hear what sounds to be some kind of a machine down the tunnelway that you think is probably a generator.
Interesting. Well, is the incense still burning?
It is.
Okay, I'll bring that along because if I've soaked the cloth, I should be able to ignite it, and then I should have a functional firebomb, at least in my mind. Not sure.
Well,
how
it's definitely possible.
Yeah,
I agree. I think that's definitely possible. I think. Well, when you basically peek out the door, who's doing it? I'm assuming that you're doing this first, Erik. You're peeking out the door first.
Yes, because I wasn't busy fighting. So yeah,
Okay.
I'll do that.
So I need you to make a stealth check.
Okay, that's not going to work out well. Let's see here. Erik stealth. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay. That's not great. No, that's a fail.
Okay, so it's okay. So when you look outside, fortunately, there are no other guards out there, but you do see off in the distance those two guys that were in the robes. They run down there, maybe about 100, maybe I'm gonna say 150, 200 feet down the way, and they immediately take a sharp turn to the right. But you don't hear anybody else coming in your direction. So, what are you guys doing?
I think we need to follow them.
I think we should.
Okay. So, marching order, I'm assuming we're going to have Erik first.
I'll gladly take second.
Okay.
I'll gladly take the end. And unless
Alright.
Dr. Finley...
I'll be happy to take the middle then.
Yeah, unless Dr. Finley resists, I like to have him ahead of me. In striking distance, one might say.
Yeah, no.
Have it
Well,
Mr. Morgan at the
fully
end. That
oblivious
is.
to this, and I'm just thinking, it's lovely how everybody's taking care of me.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's it. Right. Okay. So, you make your way down this path. And as I stated before, you're seeing kind of like a subterranean type fauna, plants, etc. And as it starts to wind in between stones, and you look up, you can't quite see the ceiling, but you know it's got to be 200 feet high up there. You don't see stalactites, but you do see stalagmites on the floor. Where you get to the spot where the two cultists turn to the right, you see what looks like there's a creek down here or some type of a running brook, and you look up in amazement and you see this.
Well,
Oh, wow.
I knew the
So-
London Underground was full of rivers, but I never knew this.
So for those watching or viewing, they are seeing what looks to be a subterranean tropical rainforest with a brook and everything else. Moss. It's green moss. It's very humid in here. It's literally like you're in a botanical gardens type thing. But it appears that the pathway keeps going directly through here, kind of crosses over the brook several times, back and forth, kind of in a snake, fashion. So, what do you guys do? You guys gonna just continue on, or what's your plan?
This super distracts me. I don't know. What with all the all the weird shitology that I've devoted my life to, I'm fully expecting this now to be a temple to Gaia. This isn't normal. It's way too warm for London, even if you, I don't know, construe hot springs or something that I didn't know that we had, but that would probably be a possibility. I mean, this is almost. Oh, I mean, has The Lost World been published yet? But if not that, then I don't know, The Journey to the Center of the Earth or something, some such Victorian science fiction.
I don't. I have to look.
Jules Verne.
Yeah,
I need to look
that's
that up.
definitely been published. I think The Lost World might be a bit later. Like I think about sort of writing,
Yeah.
like this. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm fully entranced by this, and I'm thinking of 1001 mythical thoughts of the lost realms and tunnels to the center of the earth and portals to Shambhala and whatever. And I will actually pick up a blade of fern or something and start smelling it and waiting for divine inspiration to trickle down from this clearly magical place. This cannot be some evil royal blood sacrificing bullshit. This looks pure, this looks beautiful, and nature has always been on our side. Yet because I am a romantic lady of my age, I believe that the forest is a good and powerful place.
Okay, so yes, quite true. 1864 was when the original Jules Verne Journey to the Center of the Earth was published in French at the time. It's definitely out. This definitely reminds you of something of that nature. it's very warm, humid in here. You feel like the temperature's gone up. I don't know, you guys. I know you're all Celsius, but I'm the Fahrenheit guy. So think of it like a 90s, upper 90s, low 100s. So I'm thinking what mid 30s, right, for
I'm
Celsius?
certainly not missing that
Yeah.
shawl right
Low
now.
30s, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, low 30s. So right. So it's extremely hot. Yeah, you definitely don't need the shawl right now. As far as keeping warm, you don't need. In fact, you have to loosen things up a bit in order to like breathe.
Just how large is this place? Is it how vast? How
Well,
can we tell?
you're
Or-
looking what looks to be like a massive rainforest. You can't really tell.
Right.
There's trees everywhere, and there's a canopy above you. There's light coming from somewhere above there, but you have no idea where it's coming from. You don't know if you're outside or you're still underneath the ground. The only thing
Are
that
there-
belies that is the fact that there's stalagmites still on the floor in different spots. So, yeah.
Are there
You-
animal sounds around us? Noises?
You do hear what sounds like insects. You do hear the occasional like monkey sound. Yeah, little like spider monkeys, that type. It's like a jungle type setting. You know.
At least for Dr. Finley, this is odd.
Beyond odd, yeah. You've never. The only person that actually would know something of this type of environment would probably be Erik, because he's an explorer. He's seen something like this before. But usually it was in the jungles of Borneo or something like that, Not here. So.
No, but I am a lot more comfortable in this environment as opposed to the filth and corruption of London. So puts my mind at ease a bit, despite the strangeness.
Yeah, I see Eric's enthusiasm, and I say, right, this must be a good place. It couldn't be those. It could be those Judas guys having created this. They wouldn't not such a temple of fertility and natural goodness.
Do you have tracking, Erik? Or some kind of natural
I do. Navigation, is that something? Is that relevant?
Well,
no?
your EMF is
Tracking?
definitely going to come into play here. I'm just curious about actually having like a tracking ability.
Yeah, if
Well,
that is
everybody
an
has
ability. 10. I have track. Yes, I have 30 in track. So
okay, so if you guys if you're sticking to the same marching order here, it literally, in order to stay out of the the high weeds and all kinds of bugs, centipedes and spiders and everything else along the way, you need to stay on the path, and it's going to have to be literally a single line going forward. If everybody remains, are you guys going to remain with the same lineup? If that's true, then I'll continue. Yes. Okay.
Can I say something?
What's that? What's that? Sure.
Okay, this is too weird, too strange. I think Dr. Finley thinks that our minds have been messed around with something, maybe some hallucinogenic, I don't know, gas or something. I'm not sure if it's useful here, but can I use my extrasensory perception to figure out if there is someone or something else here, or maybe this is an illusion, or I don't know, something like that?
No, that's actually a really great idea. So go ahead and roll your ES or your really, you're more of a medium, is really what you are, Yeah. So you reach out with your senses,
It's an extreme success.
Extreme success. All right. Wow, I hadn't really thought about that one. You kind of start to venture in. You kind of stop everybody and say, "Listen, I give me a moment." And you put your hands up to your head and you start to focus. And you reach out. And you hear to your right, off in the forest, not too far away, crying. and you kind of peer out in that direction. There's a small clearing out there to the right. It's not very big, but you do see what looks to be a woman. Apparently, you see the back of her. She's got long hair, and she's wearing brown pants, brown boots, like she's on safari or whatever. You can't see her face. All you see is her the back of her, and you know that she is not of this world. Let's put it that way.
Of course she's not. It's a woman in trousers.
But that's awesome.
Right. Does her hair, her back, resemble the hair that Abigail had in my vision? Because if that's a fact, I'll run towards her.
This is a raven-haired woman. She has black hair.
Black hair.
I mean, it looks very pretty, but
I think I will wander off towards that direction without saying anything to the others. I don't know if they notice me, but.
So, all right. In that case, I would like everybody except Dr. Finley to roll a spot hidden. And Dr. Finley, I want you to roll a stealth.
No.
If you're not paying any attention, you're just trying to quietly go over there. No?
Yeah.
Okay. It's up to you.
Speaking of spotting hiddens, is there a stick lying around? I'd like to have a better weapon than a rock. I'd like to upgrade myself to a stick.
I'm going to say without a doubt, yes, you can find a piece of a broken off limb. That's definitely there. Definitely a little bit more heftier than what you had. So yeah, it would be an improvised weapon, same kind of damage though, as the rock. Yeah, but you'll have a better hand on it. So all right. So what'd you roll? I'm sorry, I missed it.
Lennox saw something.
Yeah, and I failed my stealth roll.
Okay, so all right, so Lennox, you're well. It makes sense because Lennox would be in back, and he probably should have a bonus die with that. I should have thought of that, but because he's literally watching everybody. Yeah. So Dr. Finley just all of a sudden he stops, he holding to his head, and he stares off into a direction to the right, and he just suddenly leaves the path and starts walking to this direction of this slight clearing. I need you to roll your telepathy for me, please.
So we've success, and we've been going pretty much, if I draw this correctly, roughly to the right already-ish?
Yes, you already have. Yeah, you made the turn off of the main thoroughfare.
Yeah,
and it turned directly into this. Right.
Okay.
Right.
Yep.
So, I'm going to get to you, Erik, again, but so you made a success. So you literally hear crying in the direction that Dr. Finley is going. It's a woman crying. You can't see anything, but he seems to be going directly in that direction.
Doctor.
Definitely.
Doctor. Don't fall for these tricks.
Not listening to anyone or anything. I'm going to that woman.
Mr. Rieke,
Now that
Erickson
Lennox
and
is called for
Miss Playfair, I have to excuse myself. And he starts running after him.
Yeah, I guess I was walking immediately in front of the doctor now that Lennox has called my attention to it. Do I see where he's going? I mean, do I see the woman?
No, you don't. You have divination abilities, but that comes in a different way. And so you can't really actively... Now, you can actively try to discern the future by using some sort of object. That type of thing.
I don't think that the doctor is in danger. I wouldn't be concerned to see him straying off the path, but
well,
because I don't think I'll run after him or anything like that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's a little odd. You are in this place that you've not been before, and there could be snakes and what out here, but it's the doctor. He knows what he's doing. You figure, I guess.
Yeah,
so.
No, I don't think it's in my nature to step off the path.
Oh, so you're going to follow him then?
No. I say I don't think I would.
Okay.
You know.
Okay. So, Erik, did you roll your tracking roll?
No, I didn't know I was supposed to. I can roll that now if you want.
Yeah, please roll that for me now, and we'll get back to the other guys here in a second.
Yeah, that is a fail by a wide margin.
Oh my god. Okay. All right. So, you look down. You're definitely certain there are a lot of people have gone through here.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it. That's all you know. All right, Dr.
Do
Finley.
I notice? I'm
sorry.
sorry.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm just asking if I noticed that some people are straying from the path.
As far as you could tell, based on that roll, no, they're just all stay on the path. They're fine.
I'll stay on course and keep going.
All right, I want you to make a spot hidden as well.
Okay.
Because literally half the party has left you.
Yeah, that's a success.
Okay, Johannes, same thing. Well, if Erik turns around, you're gonna look around and see what he's looking at. You literally watch as Dr. Finley and Lennox they both just suddenly turn and walk off the path into a direction of a small clearing. Yeah, sure.
Look
why?
at Erik.
Erik.
I look at.
Should we?
Sorry.
What do you think? Should we follow them? Where's the doctor going? I don't see anything.
Just play fair. I've seen what happens to men that stray from the path in the jungle. I wouldn't recommend it. So,
roll your EMF.
Sure.
Yeah, roll your Erik. Yeah, roll your EMF.
Is the clearing in sight?
It is.
It's a hard success.
So you are certain, based on how you're feeling, where you're going with this, you're definitely going in the right direction here. As far as a pathway is concerned, you don't feel like you're going to end up getting off path. Yeah. Where they're going is off path. That's for certain. You know that for a fact. That where they're going is not on the direction that they really should be going.
Yeah, it's their choice.
Yep.
I do recommend we stay the path. I'm sure they'll be fine. It might know what they're doing.
Okay.
But I wouldn't recommend.
I also want you to. Sorry, real quick. One more thing. You also note a slight bit of nausea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, from the EMF fields.
Well, no, this is not from just the EMF fields. When you feel the nausea, it's due to something else.
Okay, something in the air, maybe.
It's just something nearby.
All sense of the cultists, right? There's no more chanting to be heard, is there?
No, it seems to have quieted down now. But you hear crying. And it's a woman. It appears to be.
I mean, we thought that we were. We thought we knew that we were down here with, a whole congregation of cultists. So this worries me. Where is everybody? I let the guys know as much. I think, is this me? Do you think? I don't know. Have we left the congregation? Where are the cultists?
So, I'm assuming Erik and Margaret are staying on the path. Johannes staying on the path. Yes. Okay. Yes. So we'll get back. So approaching, you kind of step. It's sloshy. It's almost like marshland. What you're going through here, because it gets stuck in the mud, and you're trying to get yourself through it. It's hotter than blue blazes. You pull out your kerchief and try to wipe because you're just sweating, just sheets, buckets. They're sweating, and you get probably within 20 feet. She's just kind of standing there. She's crying.
With her back towards us, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I think I will cough a bit of a you can tell that someone is behind her. And excuse me, lady, are you all right?
You look over to her and you hear her sniffling. She turns and she reaches over to you, turns around, and you see she's got a gaping hole in her chest where her heart should be, and it's been ripped out. And she looks over. Can you help me? Can you help me, please? Please help me. She comes towards you, begging you.
Okay.
You hear this stuff in your head, Lennox. You hear exactly what she's saying.
But Lennox cannot see her, right?
He cannot see the fact that she's got a big hole in her chest. So.
Yes. You're in luck, dear lady. I'm a doctor of medicine. Let me take a look at that wound.
You're a doctor?
Yes.
She looks down at her chest, looks back up at you. They took my heart. How would you get it back? Why am I like this? I can't feel my legs. I don't. Where's my husband? He was here just a moment ago.
Dr. Finley, this is not right.
No, what? This poor woman lost her heart. We need to help her.
Think about what you just said. She lost her heart.
Yeah, so have I, but I'm still trying. Dear lady, my name is Dr. Frederick Finley. You can call me Freddy, if you'd like.
Doctor, it's horrible. They stuck this big knife into my chest and stabbed me, and I cut out. I couldn't. I thought I would just lose consciousness. Going all blood from my chest. What's happening to me?
I'll get it back. Where is your husband? Where did he go?
I don't know. He left me here. She points over to the right and points in the direction of where you guys were heading. He's probably over there.
Yeah. Do you know what this place is?
I don't know. We were supposed to be coming to study some animals, my husband said, but how do you study animals in a cave? I thought we were gonna. He said koala bears. What is he thinking? This is not Australia. Thinking.
Right. Does she look like she's a spectral figure? Is she semi-transparent and so? All right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll try to calm her down.
Mm-hmm.
Tell her that everything's gonna be alright. She's still walking, so okay, it's a heart can be placed, and that I will be back with a new heart.
Yeah, roll a fast talk.
No, can I charm her?
Sorry.
No.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, trying to. Oh, we'll get you a heart, no problem. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's gonna have a hard time with that.
No, failed. No.
You can't do this. You're lying. I can tell. And she starts crying. Where's my husband? And she turns around, stomps off into the overgrowth, and disappears.
I think at that point, Lennox will put his hand on Dr. Finley's shoulder. Doctor, this is but mere distraction. We're light off path. Don't you feel that we are being pulled whatever we are destined to save?
Why was she here?
Doctor, you don't know her.
Maybe,
She
maybe
was not real. She was... You know what? He's gonna slap him. Like, just decent enough.
Well, before you slap him, though, I need you, Dr. Finley, with a bonus die.
Yeah, hard success.
Okay. As you, Lennox is you know, and he's about ready to smack you. You see over his left shoulder, in the distance, you see that same woman come out with a gaping hole in her chest, and she looks at you with these eyes that you've seen before.
What eyes? Oh.
And he smiles, and she holds up a bag. You want this, Doctor? And he pulls out a book. Looks like a very old book. And puts it back into the bag. And about that time, you feel a smart smack right across the chops.
Get your holding.
Do I still see her, or is she gone?
Absolutely, you see her.
I'll push Lennox aside and run towards her.
Okay. I think that's going to take a brawl. Yeah, make a brawl check.
I'm bad at it, but yeah,
That's
9.
okay.
No.
Okay, sorry. Well, it doesn't matter. You managed to push him aside a little bit and get away. Lennox, I'm going to give you the opportunity to stop him. No? Okay.
No. I'm not going to stop him.
He pushes aside.
Yeah, I let me be pushed aside.
Okay, got it. All right, so you run over, and you're slopping through all this mud, and she's just standing there with this grin on her face with almost fangs, and use it well, Doctor. And she drops the bag into your hands, and then disappears.
No, the bag is real, right? It's not. I'll open the bag, and is the book still there in the bag?
It is.
All right. What does it say? Is it written in Latin, maybe?
It just happens to be in Latin.
And I happen to know some Latin. Only 20%. That's not much. What's the title of the book?
Roll your Latin roll first.
Oh, come on! It's any.
Hey, you might totally fudge it. Man.
I fumbled 100.
Oh my god! So yeah, you can't even read the title of the book. I'm so sorry. Oh my god! So, Lennox, you look back and you actually do see a bag materialize before Dr. Finley, and it's dropped to the ground. And Dr. Finley picks it up. He pulls his book out of it. It looks very old, very moldy looking. Ancient book.
I mean, I approach and be very disappointed, but Doctor, you cannot just run after every phantom that you see.
It was him again. He was inside that woman.
Why would he give us clues? You don't understand. He's trying to lure us to do something. It is not real. We should not.
No, this is real. Take it.
Yeah, he's gonna look at the book.
Yeah, take that book. What does it say?
I have no Latin. I don't know.
Okay, so you have no Latin.
No.
All right, you get one word out of it, and it's the first word, because it jars your memory from the Bible. Keziah.
Mason? Yeah, it doesn't.
No, in the Bible, Keziah is Job's daughter.
don't think I even have enough history to make that connection.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll look at it. I'll turn it around a couple times, and just grab Dr. Finley and just like pull him back and walk towards the others. We need to stick together, Doctor. Just at least for that
Together,
one part.
yes.
For that one part ends, it will be worth it. And he's holding the book and kind of just occasionally kind of turning around while he's pulling Dr. Finley with the other hand and listening partially what he says while he's pulling him.
You see, you might think that this is a trap. This is a Trojan horse, something that they gave us to do us harm. But I believe that I managed to reach out to that woman, that spirit, that ghost, and she did that for me. You know, do you understand? I tried to help her, and this is my reward. I also told her that I lost my heart, so she offered something in return. So this is good for us. This is good. Maybe the others might be able to figure out something out of this. There are some illustrations in the book. I mean, why give us this book? Huh? Come on. Think about it. Must be a reason.
He just shakes his head and continues to try
Margaret.
to bring him back on the right path.
Yeah, wake up, Margaret. Sorry, your eyes goes. Ooh. So, okay, Margaret, is you're standing kind of on the trail and you're sort of watching all of this transpire, and you do see the bag just suddenly materialize and this thing fall, and they're looking at this old book, maybe about 100 feet away. You hear behind you, in a very familiar voice, "Oh, hello there, lass. It's been a long time."
Noah.
You turn around. You're seeing the glowing visage of Father Noah Benwill. "I haven't much time, lass. He looks over his shoulder. "I haven't much time."
You speak.
"Yeah, no one else can see me but you. But you must know that book has exactly what you need to stop the demon. The problem is, it also solves what the doctor wants."
Oh, the poor doctor. Why, have you made it to the other side? Are you okay?
"I am within God's good grace, and they've been kind enough to make me a guardian angel. And guess who's my first charge? That would be you, lass."
Why, thank you, Father. I'm such a relief. I'm very, very glad that we're meeting again. It was so horrible to see you go like that, and the Lord knows that we need all the help we can get now. Oh, wonderful to see you.
Again, I can't stay long, but I wanted to give you a fair warning. Up ahead, it's not going to be pretty, lass. Pray with all your might. God is the only thing that will help you. This, I am certain. I will be there as much as I can.
I'll let the others know, and I'll go have a look at that book then. No, keep a close eye on the
And he so watch what he says. "Oh, do you see that lovely bird over there, lass?" And you turn over, look over at this bird, and you look back, turn back. He's gone.
Yeah, classic trick. Right. Emboldened by the certainty that there is a love beyond, indeed. I guess I make my way off the path and towards the doctor. I just I just had a vision of Father Noah, and he's a guardian angel now, and he says that the book has everything that we need to get out of here. There's a solution right in there. Can I have a look?
I'll keep it for now. And he puts it into his
later.
inside pocket.
Please do let me see.
Do you read Latin? Can you read Latin?
Probably.
I mean,
That's not the matter right now. We need to find a way out of here. We have no time for this. Let's go.
Yes, but this is the key to.
This is the key. Everything is a key to anything. Yes. We are the keys. They are the keys. None of this makes sense. And Lennox just surpasses you, having the book inside his coat pocket.
Well, I've fallen to step behind them, I guess.
What are the rest of you doing?
Erik is leading the way still.
Yep. Johannes.
He thinks he is.
Following Erik still seems to be the most sane idea here.
And Lennox is trying to catch up with both of them.
Okay. So, follow the path, going in and out underneath, basically, all different kinds of vegetation, vines. You do manage to sidestep a couple of snakes. Margaret, your poor dress is literally mud from halfway down to the bottom. It's just mud. So it's just, it's slathering mud.
However, those tightly laced booties do come in incredibly handy now because I don't have to worry about the snakes so much.
Well, that's true. And on top of it, even sliding into the mud, those things are on so tight, it's not going to get pulled off your foot. Not without an extreme amount of effort. So, absolutely. So, as you continue on down, it seems to be, once again, like all things with this stuff, is that the pathway starts to incline down again. Not as steep as other areas that you've been in within the tunnel, but it's definitely going down. And when it bottoms out at the bottom, maybe 200 yards, it starts to level out again, and there in front of you, maybe about a couple 100 feet away from you, you see this.
Oh.
Interesting.
And for the viewers that are watching, they're seeing basically a temple entrance in the middle of with all the green fauna and rainforest-like features. There's a lot of water in front of the main stairs, but it looks very old and very ancient.
But this is just like what Madame Blavatsky wrote. I swear, this is like the gates to Shambhala, which are hidden beneath the Himalayas.
I have to say, I heard Madame Blavatsky was quite the untrustworthy person.
Oh, you just haven't opened your eyes to see. She knew everything. She was enlightened, that one.
You hear sounds coming from the entranceway. More chanting.
I think this is it.
I guess it is.
I need you to make another listen check. All of you.
Also, I will turn to the doctor. Dr. Finley. You will let me know when I should do what you want, right?
I think, dear Mr. Morgan, that listen, I'm telling you this now. I might not be in my right mind at the moment, but you have my permission to do what's necessary, even though I might have a different opinion at that moment. All right? Do you understand?
He'll take the knife, the bread knife that he had earlier, and he'll just like cut across his forearm without any hesitation. I do understand, my friend. And he hands you the knife.
No, I'll do the same thing then. But it's a butter knife. How can you cut through flesh? Anyway, but
No,
yes.
it's not a butter. It's a regular knife. It's
okay.
it's just a.
It's a bread knife. It has the saw.
bread knife.
Yeah, I thought it was
Yeah,
a bread
it's-
knife. It was like
yeah.
very
Yeah,
cut-worthy.
it takes a while to get through stuff, but you can get through it. It'll cut.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that, and then put my arm on his wound and mix the blood. Yes.
Okay.
Boys, have you been reading too much leather stocking again?
Okay. So, did you guys make the listen check that I asked you to?
Yeah, we all.
I think
failed.
everyone failed.
Everyone failed.
Everybody failed.
All fail.
Was anybody close?
No. Well,
Not really.
Dave, you were.
Yeah, by one. Yeah, you can spend the luck.
You can spend 1 point of luck.
Oh, I can spend one. Okay, it's worth. I'll spend one luck to make it into a success.
You hear amongst the chanting a woman's voice that sounds quite familiar. You're certain of it. It sounds like Princess Mary. And she's chanting along with them.
But one of them.
And on
I-
that note,
Point this out to the others.
no, on that note, this is where we're going to stop this session.
Of course.
Oh, poor Princess Mary.
Was he behind all this?
Yeah.
Damn it.
She was the one all
You're going to be able to
along.
find out soon. Never know.
Yeah, this is
So,
interesting.